Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody out there, animals and creatures, Mrs. Claus, Santa Claus, everybody out there that has a wireless device. It's time to start the RF Tech USA weekly live stream.
Yeah!
Hello, Caleb. What's up, buddy? We got Zero Q in the house.
Never fear, Zero Cool is here.
That's right. And his little dog, too. And his little skunk ape, too.
Oh, that, too. Yeah, I just got the line. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been testing Skunky out, too, if you guys didn't see my Twitter post. Did you see how I was skunking it up there in South Florida up there?
The video was not so great. So
it was kind of choppy. The sound was even screwing up. I mean, man, that was crazy. Oh well, can't say I didn't try it.
At least you tried. You know, that's the thing. You got to try out on this 5G world. You got to.
Yeah, even Carlos tried this live stream too, and it didn't work so good. Yeah. And lately, AT&T's been screwing up with Carlos. With that DC turned on, it is fudging everything up. It's fudging. AT&T sucks right now. Yeah. The best thing to do is turn that N77 off. Unless you're right underneath the tower. I mean, if you're right, and even then, it still screws up. So, I don't know. I think the AT&T engineers need to all go back to engineering school. That's what I think. Because they ain't doing a very good job. Verizon's blowing them out of the water.
Yeah,
crazy.
Does. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, so what I did is when I went to Deerfield Beach last week. That's why I had my live stream last Tuesday, because I was going up there for Wednesday. So I'm going to be famous, Of course, I'm already famous. I'm here on my live stream on YouTube every week, so I'm kind of famous a little bit. That's right, a little bit famous. I mean, I'm not as famous as Ryan Hall, y'all. I ain't famous as him. I mean, he was live today covering the tornado that hit New Orleans today.
Oh, he had
26,000 people in the live stream when he was broadcasting. 26,000. Can you imagine that? Right now, I got 6 people in here. I feel like I just want to pack up and go home. It's like, I am home. But I just want to pack it up and say, forget it. But, I don't know. Maybe I'll go viral someday. But if not, I'll still be happy to have my 7, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 subscribers or viewers while I'm doing a live stream. So it's no big deal. I do YouTube because I like to have fun. And I like teaching everybody about wireless. That's the main thing about it, is teaching everybody about wireless.
Right.
But yeah, we definitely need to say some prayers for Louisiana, because those tornadoes were nasty. One hit New Orleans. I don't know if anybody got hurt or killed yet, because it just hit. I mean, just a couple hours ago. And then now over in western Louisiana, southwestern, it did hit over there, and it did kill one person. So, and I don't know if it did anything up in Mississippi yet either. So it's kind of still early. It's all going on. So there's still tornadoes out there, I think. So. But yeah, it's crazy. I'm not a big YouTuber like SMT, but hey, I'm trying to get there. Nothing wrong with that. All right, let's check out the comments. Let's see who's there today. Yeah, I couldn't decide if I was going to start at 8 or 9 or whatever, SMT has the girl, she has soccer, I guess. And he gets back late, so Wednesday night's a no-go for him, so unfortunately. He's been pretty busy anyway, so he hasn't had many live streams. Been just cranking out the videos. And of course, I'm working all the time, so I only got like 1 day a week. But anyways, like I was saying, I was up in Deerfield Beach. So what I did is I tested, let's see, which one did I do first? Oh, I did AT&T. So when I left, I turned AT&T on, and then I turned on Cell Mapper, and I headed north and was going through, and I was watching what I was connected to, whether it was 60 of N77 or 40 of N77, or just band 5 only and all that kind of stuff. And I was doing speed tests going along through there. Very, very disappointing. Many times when it said 5G plus, I was getting speed slower than LTE. It was a joke. It was crazy. And then sometimes when I looked and I seen I had a really good signal on N77, I did a speed test and it was like 150 down and like 50 up. And it's like very disappointing. So I did that all the way up, got to Deerfield Beach. So of course my purpose up there, you know, I was on a TV show. So I'm going to be on a TV show coming up. If you ever heard of a show called Balancing Act, it's on Lifetime, I think is the channel. But it's mainly geared for, you know, it's kind of like it's not really a Dr. Phil show. It's what's the one where they have the medical people on there that's talking about what foods to eat and how to have a healthy lifestyle, you know, all that kind of stuff, you know. Yeah, it's called The Balancing Act is the name of it. Well, Taser was on the show 2 years ago, and they demonstrated the tasers. So they talked about it, and it was talking about how women can go and take a class through a certified taser instructor, which I'm a certified taser instructor now. And you can learn how to use it, and you can carry it legally in 49 states to protect yourself if you didn't want to have a pew pew. I don't want to say the other word. So they had a volunteer that got tased on the show 2 years ago. So, but Balancing Act reached out to Taser and said, hey, we want to do a refresh of the episode. We want to just do a refresh and everything and another demonstration. So they wanted somebody to demonstrate. And guess what? Since I'm the brand new instructor in South Florida and I was close by and I'm available during the day, most people are working during the day, but I'm usually sleeping. So I stayed awake all day, was awake for 24 hours. And I go up there, and I go up on the TV set, zap, got tased. So, yeah, that's what I did up there. Then after I left there, then I switched to Verizon, and I drove down and had some Italian food at my favorite Italian restaurant down there. So, and that's where I live streamed from when I was eating my chicken parm and spaghetti. And then, so for kicks and giggles, I said, why don't I just turn Skunky on and try to live stream? So I said, okay. So I turned T-Mobile on. I was a quarter mile from the site, and I had 190 megahertz of spectrum. I had 100 of N41, and then another 50 of N41, and then there was like 30 of LTE, I think it is. So 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Yeah, well, it's 40 of LTE. Yeah, so that made 190 megahertz. Now, you would think with 190 megahertz of spectrum that's a quarter mile away in a big city like that, that you could live stream off that. But guess what? Well, if you guys missed it, make sure you watch the replay where I went live from the restaurant there, and it was all choppy, and it was horrible. The picture kept cutting out. The audio was even screwed. It was so bad. So then when I left from there, then of course, I went and took a nap at my friend's house, and then we went to the club and drank some beer, just had a good time, because, it was my day off. So I figured I'd have some fun. So then after that, then I drove back. Well, I had my leftover chicken parm spaghetti because I couldn't eat it all because my stomach is so small since I lost all this weight. I don't eat much anymore. I just nibble. So, and then I just drove back. I left at 5 a.m. and I drove all the way back to the Keys and went to sleep. And then got up at 6 that night and went to work. So that was a trip. And on the way back, I turned it on Verizon and I checked Verizon and did speed tests on the way back. Of course, it really wasn't fair because it was like between 9 and 10 o'clock in the morning, which traffic was heavy. So I was testing AT&T when the network was busy. When I tested Verizon on the way back, it was like nobody's using it because it was 5 a.m. But it was starting to get pretty busy at the rush hour, so there was people using it, a lot of people on the road. But Verizon did really good. There's only a couple places that where there was no N77, and it did crappy, of course, congested. But for the overall trip, though, Verizon took the win. So that was my little trip up and back. Of course, I didn't get a chance to fly the drone. It was just too much going on and too busy. So I didn't fly the drone. So, So that's what I did on Wednesday. So here I am. Of course, after I got tased, it was no bad. Just had cramps. I had really bad cramps in the back of my legs. They call them Charlie horses, I guess, because your back of your leg.
Yeah, that's
because when you get shocked and your feet go down and it stands you up, because the way the electricity goes, it contracts your muscles. So for 5 seconds, that's all it was, 5 seconds. But man, I tell you what, it just felt like I ran a marathon in 5 seconds. Though that's what it felt like. So, but I got tased in '96 when I did my SWAT paramedic training. That was not a big deal. Those tasers were not nearly as powerful as they are today. So they are powerful and they work. So yeah, so that's good. I got my coin. So I got a little coin. It's over there. I got a little coin. It says, ride for 5, ride the lightning. So I got the coin. And then they gave me a free taser, which is worth like $500. I could turn around and resell it, or I could, keep it for training classes. But I already bought a bunch of them. Yeah. I bought 5 of them for the training classes already.
Voltage on it? Can you adjust the voltage on it?
No, it's set at 20,000 volts and it's like 0.18 milliamps. So it's very, very low current. And it's 50,000 volts. The little darts go in your skin about that much. About a quarter of an inch. So, and when them darts come out of that thing, I think it's something like a couple hundred feet per second. So, yeah, they hit you pretty hard and make sure they go through your clothes. And if you got a coat on, it'll go through your coat too. So, as you guys seen on YouTube videos of many people getting tased, and you can go on there and look and watch people get zapped and everything. So, but anyways, I'm going to be famous. So, when that episode does come out, I'll share it with you guys so you can watch it, so you can see me get and it'll be on Taser International's or Taser by Axon website too, so it'll be listed on there as well. So yeah, I kind of became a little famous. So I don't know how many thousands of people will see me, but most people won't even know who I am. So because I'm not that important.
Just call you like the Taser guy. The
Taser dude, yeah. The Taser dude. That's
Taser
for
guru,
sure.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, so don't forget to vote in a poll. We got a question for you guys tonight. Tonight is do you think 3.1 gigahertz and 10 gigahertz bands should be either auctioned for high power macro 5G like N77 and 3.4 gigahertz, same thing, they're high power macro bands, or extend CBRS on band 48 down to 3.1 and use it for GAA, which is unlicensed, and POW. Now, as we know, that's a low power stuff. There's no massive MIMO. There's no beamforming. There's no 5G about it. The only thing you're going to get if you use it for N48 or whatever the band number it comes, they may just call it band 48 and extend it. They may even do that and just add more spectrum. And start from the top or the bottom of the band, and then go down just a little further and auction off another 70 megahertz of PALs, and then below that will be another part for the GAL or GAA unlicensed. But either way they do it, it's one or the other is going to have continuous spectrum. Either the PALs will be next to each other, so then you can bond a lot of channels together. Of course, you can only go 40 megahertz on NR. Is the biggest channel size you can do. Or you'll have the GAA on both ends, which will be completely separate. So you'll have to carry aggregate them. So if you have 40 down below and you got 40 up, then you're going to have to carry aggregate them. And then even if you get the S23 Ultra, it's got 4 carry aggregations. So you just wasted 2 carry aggregations on 48, which has no range hardly. I mean, and then what are you going to do with the other 2? You're going to do N5 and N77? Or N2 and 77. I mean, it's crazy.
Speaking of carrier aggregation, the Pixel 7 just got the update to allow for 3 carrier aggregation on T-Mobile.
Oh, okay, equal to the 65 modem.
So Pixel fans, get your update on your Pixel. So,
okay.
I like your first option better. Now that the 10 gigahertz, if they do that if they do that for high power, it's going to screw with our ham radio microwave bands.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're saying. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. That's the whole topic. It's up in the air. We may never get no more macro high-powered stuff. Here on out, it's going to be small cell and low-powered stuff, possibly. So we're going to talk about that. And the third choice is I don't care. I am fine with LTE. And I am surprised there's not more people voting for that one. But, but if you're streaming and all that stuff and watching YouTube videos or watching Netflix or whatever, you need the bandwidth for video and stuff. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and vote. We'll see how that turns out. But yeah, we got a pretty good show for you tonight. Let's get through here and see who's on. Don't forget to subscribe and like and stream. Yes. All right, let's get a big crowd here. Well, we don't have a big crowd. We got 11 people. Must be something going on tonight. Must be some kind of TV show or football or basketball or something. Something more important than me. All right, let's see. All right, is everybody ready for Christmas? And 2023 is just right around the corner. Yep, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and all that good stuff. That's the only 2 holidays I know. And then, of course, the most important thing is Happy Birthday, Jesus, because it's really Christmas is Jesus' birthday. So
Boxing Day in Canada is the 26th.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We got Jason in here. Good evening. Looking forward to Christmas and a good year. Hopefully so. Yeah. I don't know. We might not have a good year. Manny says they should make low 3.4 gigahertz band 78. Well, the FCC dumbasses already made it band 78, so it's too late. 3.4 is 78. 3.7 is 78 or 77. So 3.4 and the other one is 78. Band 78 is basically almost the same as band 77. It's from, I'd have to look and see exactly which it is. I got the list right here. Okay, band 78 is from 3.3 to 3.8 is what that is.
It's the international, yeah.
That's the international band. So it's from 3.3 to 3.8. And actually 77 is 3.3 to 4.2 in other countries. That's where the whole C-band crap come, because there's 200 megahertz of C-band in with the S-band. So that's why they named it over there that way. And of course the stupid FCC named it the same thing, even though it's from 3.4 to 4 gigahertz. So that's crazy. So yeah, they're going to have to come up with a different band number if they want to do 3.1 and do a high power, because they can't do 3.1. There's no frequency. There's not even any international bands that goes down to 3.1. So yeah, so I don't know what band number it's going to be. They're running out of numbers, so there's not very many.
Usually what they'll do is they'll attach a letter onto the end of the band.
Yeah. Well, example, I mean, we're already up to a whole bunch of stuff. I mean,
yeah, if you look at look at the schematic, they'll attach like a letter on the end of the band number usually.
Just like what we talked about last week. I mean, last week we talked about N96. See all these new numbers? You got 96. You got 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. So all those countries are countries is just other remakes of other bands like 1900 and 1.6. Of course, you know who N99 is, right? N99, the upper L band 1.6.
Oh yeah. Yep.
You know who that is? That's new. That wasn't on here last week's show. Does anybody have a clue what N99 is?
Who's gonna have that?
That's Global Star.
Oh, I don't have any. I know about that company. They had a lot of failures, so I don't really a lot of security issues. So I don't really trust Global Star. I don't pay attention to them.
See these really different. These just got added in there. That wasn't in there last week.
Yeah, they better step up their game, Global Star, because they got a lot of issues to fix for sure.
So N99. Yep, good old Global Star. Here's Global Star. They got a lot of new equipment coming out. They got their second generation satellites out too, so they're supposed to be a much.
You can't use satellite phones in the States at all.
Yeah. In the past, like when I worked in West Virginia in the remote areas, I had to have a satellite phone since I was a safety guy for the oil and gas drilling and stuff, so that if none of the phones worked, I could still call for help and stuff. because I might not be able to get to my vehicle. If the whole pad's on fire, blow up, I can't get to my vehicle. But if I have my phone on me, then I can run away and then get on the satellite phone and I can make a call. But the damn thing never worked. I could make a call and then it would call. The call would always drop after like 30 seconds to a minute. The call would drop. And I have to recall them back again. So it was not very dependable at all. Now the messaging would work, because you'd send a message and then they send a message back, and so the messaging actually worked. But that's about it. So, but anyway, so that's it. N99 is Global Star, and then you got all these other C-band, the real C-band, N102 and N104, N96, the real C-band. That's right. So there we got, let's see what we got next. Oh, we got Michael Sear. Hello there. How you doing? And they got, it's that time again. Cool intro. Okay. And Tech Boy's here. How you doing? And Jason says, signed up for Boost Infinite. It was pretty seamless. Okay.
Yeah, Boost Infinite. We know about that, don't we, Ricky?
Yeah, I'm not too impressed with Boost. I don't know. It's a typical MVNO. It's capped. It's capped. You do fit. Was it 50? I think. Then you get slow. You get a hard capped at like 512 or some shit.
It's capped for some people, but for the technically savvy, it's not.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit!
So
I'll send you a screenshot.
Oh boy, we got to learn about that.
Yeah.
Then we're live and direct. Thanks, Baby Yoda. Hi, TJ. Livvd's here. How's D's doing tonight? Yeah, lots of damage in Louisiana, Mississippi. At least three died, including an 8-year-old. Oh, gosh, that's just horrible. Right before Christmas. That's just crazy. Yeah, so everybody say a prayer for everybody over there. I was actually watching the tornado on the radar as it was touching down, because there's a tornadic vortex signature, because I'm a storm chaser as well. So, and I'm very good with weather, and I have weather tap radar. And so, I mean, you can clearly see the tornado, and then as soon as, then there's a setting on there that you can switch to. It's called correlation, correlate, I don't know how to say it, correlation coefficient or something like that. Basically, it picks up jagged objects in the air, because rain is like round drops or oblong drops, because when they're falling out of the sky, they turn into a certain shape. Well, when you get a whole bunch of different shapes from the echo of the radar, then that shows up on the radar, and then that's how you know you got debris signature. So when you see that on there, then you got debris in the air, so you know you got a tornado. So, and then of course, then they started going to the webcams, and of course you could see it. Some of them showed it was rain wrap, but you could see the power flashes and stuff going up in the air, floating around. So then there's a confirmed. So yeah, it was Marrero, Gretna, Harvey area, and then it's like when it kind of lightened up a little bit, and then it came back down as soon as it crossed the Mississippi River in St. Bernard Parish, and it hit Araby pretty hard and knocked out a bunch of stuff over there. So pretty crazy. Ricky, so pray.
Check your text, man. Check your text message on your phone. This is about Boost usage.
Text on the phone. Okay, let's see. I got so much stuff open here. Let me find it. Is it here? No. Oh, here it is over here. Okay. Oh, I missed a phone call already. All right. Oh, you said you're in the lobby. I didn't get no message from you.
Oh, really? I should have. Let me.
Let's see. I'm eating small amounts. Also, my stomach's upset. I expect to last a few weeks, but my body gets used to my booster shots. Oh. Well, I ain't gonna say nothing about that. I don't want to get in trouble on YouTube getting me shut down. I ain't gonna say nothing. What's up, Aaron? How you doing? So I believe tasers do not work as intended. They should be non-lethal weapons, but have been known to kill some people. Well, they do work as intended. and they're very safe and they're very reliable as long as the person's trained to use them properly and they do them properly, just like as with anything. If you get in a car and you drive down the road and you're texting and driving or you're drinking and driving, so that means your car is not very effective anymore because you're killing people out there. I mean, it's only a small portion of people that's being killed by cars. There's actually a lot less being killed by tasers. So tasers are actually pretty safe. When I took my training class, I think it was like less than 1% has been contributed to deaths. But that's because most of those deaths are all drug use. So they got tased when they're on drugs. So you know what? If you're going to be on drugs and you don't want to listen to the cops and you get tased and you just happen to die, I mean, that's your own fault. I mean, it's nobody's fault, but you know. And what's the other option? Pew, pew. Then you're guaranteed to, you know. So, I mean, kind of. So, yeah, they are very safe as long as you use them right. So, of course, you got to be careful because when they hit the floor, you got to make sure their head is not going to strike something because on the way down, if you hit your head, that's bad. Hello, Aaron. Morgan Grantas, hello. I'm listening to the stream while doing homework. All right, homework. Gosh, I haven't done homework in many, many years. I graduated in 1986, so I haven't done homework in a long time. Yeah, that's right. I'm an old fart. You guys can't tell it, but I'm an old fart.
Yeah, you should have got that message by now, bro.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I got it now, yeah. Let's see. Of course, it's kind of small. I can't see it. Oh, it says 0? What? Oh, my God, that's crazy. How did you? Well, I ain't going to ask you on here how you did that. I already have a kind of feeling how you did that. Is there an N69? Well, let's see if there's an N69. I'm not even going to ask you why you're asking me that, but let's see if there's an N69. Nope, there's no N69. Sorry to disappoint you. There's an N70 and there's an N67, but there's no N69. So let's see. Let me go look on LTE bands. Let's see. Oh, let's see. I popped it over to a new tab here. Let's see. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. LTE. Let's see. Band. Well, let's go in order here by band numbers. Let's see. Go band number. Yes, there is a band 69 for LTE. And it's in another country. It's 2.6 gigahertz. So basically, that's the same as N41. Because N41 is in 2.5 and 2.6.
It's the high end of it's the high end of it actually. Mm-hmm.
And the name of the band is IMTE. So I don't know. It doesn't give me an option to see what that is, but it's also FDD. So it's not TDD.
See, there's proof. 2.6.
So there you go. So there is a band 69. But there's no N69. And you won't be able to convert that to N69 because the maximum channel size is 20. It's very, very small channels. 5, 10, 15, and 20. So, oh, wait a minute. It is TDD.
Is it TDD?
Yeah, because it don't have an uplink. Or it might be an only download only band like band 30. Let me see.
Oh, God.
Or not band 30, I mean band 29. Yeah, it's just like band 29. It's a download only. That's what it is. So it's 2.5 to 2.6 download only.
Yeah, because TD.
So there's no upload.
Uplink frequency, but yeah, that's downlink only. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's. I mean, we should get if.
Oh, wait a minute! It says SDL. What is that? What's SDL? It's not TDD or FDL. It's SDL.
Oh, that's some type of downlink. I believe. Let me think. I think it's some type of downlink.
So yeah, I don't know. Anyways, all right. Let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, Boost is just on AT&T now.
Yeah,
you get 30
that's
gigs.
a downlink. So it's SDL's supplementary downlink. That's what that stands for.
Oh, supplementary
and
downlink.
SUL
There you go.
is your supplementary uplink. So that's like
okay, gotcha.
That's an extra downlink.
There are civilian tasers. Yes, there is. Yep. There's civilian tasers. That's for sure. And I am now a taser instructor. So I'll be teaching civilians and security officers.
Tase me, Ricky. Tase me.
I'll light you up
Oh, shit.
like lightning. Yeah. What I need to do is get a sound on here on my soundboard, the sound of a taser going off.
Oh,
here.
yeah. There you go.
Or I can just walk over here and get one and do it right here. But no, I ain't going to do that. All right. I will graduate next year. Okay, tech boy.
Nice.
Well, at least you're going to graduate from high school. Great.
I know,
Are you going to go to college? Are you going to be a network engineer?
Yeah.
Maybe.
You probably
Never
will
know.
be.
Possibly. Okay, so we got through the chat here. There's only 14 people here. So let's move on to talk some news. I'm going to start doing that each week. I'll just briefly go over some of the news stuff and drink my coffee.
Is this cellular news or is this other news?
Oh, yeah, just regular. Yeah, regular news. Well, let me add it back to stream again. Oh, here, let me take this banner down. Oh, yeah. So if you want to donate to the channel, PayPal, there's the link. And then memberships are live. If you want to be a member, support the channel. And we got the coffee thing like Carlos has, buy me a coffee. You can go on there. I get most of the money from that. Of course, YouTube, rips you off and takes all your money. So, or you could do a super chat as well. So that's your ways of doing all that. So, and thank you for everybody that's donated. Oh, where's the banner at here? Banner. And then, of course, down at the bottom there, you see all the people that's donated to the channel. So we got Steven Smith, S Blue, Alternate Reality, Pete Fox, MS, Jason, Jose, Chanel 808, Livvdj. Oh, yeah, and go check out Chanel 808's channel. He actually did a test. He put 5 phones in the window with AT&T, Verizon, and several T-Mobile lines. And he did a live stream and drove around and tested them out. And of course, certain areas, Skunky did, buffer. But when he went through the tunnel, AT&T and Verizon both buffered for just a few seconds. Then it came right back. So he did a test. So to go check out that video he did. So he's got that on the replay there. He was live the other night. So go check that out. And then we got Livvdj, Carrie, Willoughby, Redbeard, Kazi, Zero Cool, Oceanic Vibes. Everybody's donated to the channel. So thank you so much for that. All the donations. And let's see. Did you get to mine? Did I get to mine? I don't know what you mean by that. So let's go over here, talk about the news. Oh, God, here's some deception and lies. Uh-oh. Zero Cool sent me $10 super sticker.
Snap.
Oh, snap. Oh, of course, I have to go over here and look and see what it is. Let's see, what is it? Oh, it's like a little...
animated dancing something.
Oh, yeah, a little something going on over there. Yeah, okay. Well, thanks, Zero Cool. Appreciate that.
Buddy. You're welcome, man.
So we'll go back over here and let's see. And, of course, the first article up here is Deception and Lies, Here we go. T-Mobile's 5G network covers 323 million people. That's pops.
False.
That's pops. So that's a big lie. Because if you got one tower in a pops area, guess what? You get the whole square miles for the city. All the people there. It's straight up lies because the pops does not cover the whole area. You can have a Swiss cheese network. You can have 50 towers and cover only a fourth of the people, but yet you get the pops. You get credit for the pops, which is stupid. They should go by square miles percentage is what they should go. That's what they should. T-Mobile actually covers 62% of the population. We're talking about of the population, the tower. So if the tower covers a 3-mile circle, that's what they cover. And then if there's no tower next to it, they don't cover those people. But then the next tower, then they cover 3 miles of people. And that's how it should be calculated. It shouldn't be calculated like that. I mean, it's crazy. So as you guys have seen, I've showed you the whole network, the holy network, the whole network. There we go. Yeah, I already showed you. I mean, look at this. So they don't cover all the They don't cover all the population. Only 47% of America is covered with people and roads. So only half the country has population. So only T-Mobile has 62% of it. So that's a big lie. 323 million. That's a big lie. So, and their ultra capacity now they say covers 260 million. Well, that's a lie too. So there's no way it covers that. So they say they're planning for 300 million. Oh, whoop-de-ding dong. You know, it's all lies. T-Mobile has also just launched 5G nationwide in Band 2. Of course, they're calling it ultra capacity.
It's the biggest crock of shit. Oh
because it's mid-band, like 2.6, it's mid-band, so it's high capacity, ultra capacity.
What did you think of your phone when it said ultra capacity on it, Ricky? Tell me how you really feel.
I think it was fake. I think it performed like 3G. Yeah. And some places like 2G.
Yeah, that's the thing. Out of all the things that they have done, this is probably the one that drives me nuts the most. That they have ultra capacity at pretty much like every single band that they have on 5G. It's like you can't do that. It's like you can't. It's just like, come on now. It's like might as well just call dial-up ultra capacity. Call it a day.
Oh, I muted because I sneezed. I'm allergic to bullshit. That's why I sneezed. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Ricky is allergic to bullshit. Deception and lies, my friends. Yeah, old Neville Republican gets struck by lightning when he goes out for all them damn lies he's saying.
You know,
so anyway,
we should do like a second poll. We should do a second poll that says how many people have a 5G UC icon on their phone, and do you think it's actually ultra capacity or not? You know.
Ah, okay, yeah, let's do that. Also, we got another super chat from Pete Fox. Thank you there for the $9.99. When carriers talk about nationwide coverage, consider they have busy highways where the majority of U.S. population lives. Our country has lots of unpopulated land. That's right. Only half the land is populated. So I use Comcast, Xfinity Mobile, Verizon. Yep. And you got a good service out there. Of course, my Comcast suck, but that's just the way it is. Not all areas suck. Not all areas for T-Mobile suck. Not all areas for Verizon is good, and not all areas good for AT&T. They all have challenges, but out of all of them that I've tested, Verizon has the less amount of challenges. So that's just what I follow. All right, so let's close this poll. If you haven't voted yet, do you think 3.1 gigahertz and 10 gigahertz bands should be converted to CBRS with the unlicensed freebies and the PAL license, so the priority access license being auctioned off? Or I don't care, I'm fine with LTE. So there's 20 votes in here. We got 9 in the live stream. So if you haven't voted, hurry up and click that. I'm going to end this poll and make another one here. There we go. I guess everybody's voted. All right, let's end the poll. We got auction for high power, 64%. Make it CBRS, 25%. And I don't care, I'm fine with LTE is 10%. So there you go. Very interesting. So, and of course, we're going to talk about more about that here in a second. So what question are we going to do here?
Oh, for the second poll?
Yeah.
It was if you have a T-Mobile, well, you can word it the way you want. If you have a T-Mobile 5G UC icon on your phone, do you believe or do you feel that it is really ultra capacity? Ultra capacity speed. Phrase it like that.
Okay. If you got UC icon on your phone,
T-Mobile
did
UC
you get high speeds?
Do you feel like it has ultra capacity high speeds, or do you feel like it has ultra?
Okay. How about this? Did you notice a difference from LTE?
There you go.
How about that?
Yeah, that's fine.
From LTE. Okay. And we'll just make it a yes or a no.
Right.
All right. Of course, if you've never been a T-Mobile customer with it, there's no point in voting because you never tested it. But you could go on your family members or friends or anybody else that's happened to use it and tell you. So only if you've used it or somebody you know has used it and they told you so. So I could vote on it and I could say, oh, I can't tell. All right, let's see what other deception lies we got here. Okay, so yeah, Band 2 is LTE. It's not 5G. So even if you put a 5G icon on it, it's still LTE. It's still going to be used for non-standalone to mix with actual real 5G, even though their UC is not being deployed quite as good as it should be because of the problems of the low power, reusing the frequencies, and all that stuff. They also plan to do 3 carrier aggregation.
Yep.
Yeah, whoopee ding dong. So you're going to do Band 2, fake 5G, Band 71, fake 5G, and then Band 41, half 5G. So there you go. All right, next story. Victims of domestic abuse gain new rights on cell phones. Okay, President Biden signed into law the Safe Connection Acts of 2022, which provides several new rights relating to cell phone service for victims of domestic abuse and human trafficking. Oh my God! So you probably know what I'm thinking in my head. Of course, I cannot say this on. I cannot say this on here. Yeah, I can't even say it. I'm just going to skip that article. Yeah. Apple will offer end-to-end encryption for cloud data, including backups.
I think this. I was talking to Lois about this. I think this is actually a good move by Apple. Anything that you can do end-to-end encryption and provide zero trust security along with it is a good move. So good for them.
Oh yeah,
I hate Apple, but still good for them.
Yeah, I hate Apple too. I mean, they're not all that bad. I mean, T-Mobile's better than Apple, so Apple's okay.
Wait.
Of course, I had to say that. What?
Okay, all right. I wasn't sure if you're being serious.
Oh yeah. All right. So there's a new phone out. It's the Moto G Play. It's a budget phone. It's not very good. So it has 32 gigs of storage. So it won't take too many damn pictures to overload that phone. And you got to remember, too, if you actually go to the phone, even though it says 32 gigs of storage, but if you actually look in it, your operating system is going to use like 10 gig of it. So only the user is going to have like 20 or so. So that's what sucks about it. So it's coming to Metro, Dish, Xfinity, US Cellular, Consumer Cellular, and all that. But if you're just going to use it for phone calls and you're going to look on Google Maps when you're trying to find a restaurant to eat and all that, you're not going to take very many pictures. Now, it does have expandable memory cards, so you actually can move your camera folder to the external data and do that and load up that external card. Does it say what size it can do? It doesn't say what size. We have to go and look and see what it is. But I'm sure you could put at least like a 128 gigabit card. So you'll be able to put all your files and pictures and videos and all that stuff on there and keep the memory on the phone for your operating system. So that's pretty good. It's got a big battery. So it's got 10 watt fast charging. So, if 10 watts fast charging is really fast, I don't know if that's fast, but I'm so used to my 25 watt charger. Well, the S22 Ultra has a 45 watt charger, but it doesn't do 45. It does 30 watts, maybe 33. A couple times I've seen 35. Like when my battery is at like 15%, and I plugged it in and went up to 35 watts. Then it went to 33, and then it went to 30. So by the time it got to like 30%, it was at 30 watts. And as it goes up, the wattage goes down. So
I like the charging. The charging is fine. I'm happy with the charging. It charges quickly on my 22, but dang, like I hope in the S23 they fixed the battery life issues because the battery life is just horrendous and the S22.
Oh.
It's just, God,
Well, I mean, there is some optimization you can go in and do and fix that. So, and I did that on mine. I could get 12 to 14 hours out of my phone.
Yeah, I've done
with
that.
6 or 7 hours of screen time.
When you're running 3 or 4 carriers on my phone, it's just not enough. They need to optimize the battery at the baseband level.
Yeah. So. Now, when I installed the eSIM on here for Skunky, this thing got hot as hell. When I was live streaming, I touched my phone. It's like, oh shit, why is it getting so hot? And I go, oh, I'm on Skunky right now, baby. Yeah, that's like, what the hell's going on? No, I think the phone was transmitting at the highest power it could, just trying to get that N41 connection to stay solid. Yeah. I mean, what good is 150 megahertz of spectrum when you can't hardly connect to it? The tower can't hear you, and the phone's on high power. See, that's what's crazy. So, and it's using N71 for the upload.
Yeah, it's a 600 megahertz.
It's using N71 for upload, and then all that 150 of download is being wasted. It's not even being used because there's not enough massive MIMO, and there's not enough efficiency there to the tower can't hear the phones and all the interference, the Bluetooth and all the other crap, because N41 is right next to the 2.4 gigahertz and microwaves too. I mean, your microwave oven is on 2.4 gigahertz. So when you turn your 1,000-watt oven on, you can just say bye-bye to N41. It's gone. Your phone ain't going to pick up that tower anymore. Yeah, and then if you're using your phone with Bluetooth and all that, your cordless phone, it's on 1.9 gigahertz. It's not that close to it, but it'll mess up band 2 a little bit, possibly. But anyways, here's a cheap budget phone. It's going to be good for the right people that can make this work. So, and the price is right too. Look, it's $170. I mean, for somebody, and especially for consumer cellular customers, it's going to be good because consumer cellular is mainly geared towards the elderly people. Now, US Cellular, it's only for somebody that's, low budget that can't afford the more expensive phones, or Xfinity Mobile, same thing. And then Dish, which means it's going to be the 5G, the standalone 5G that they got. And then you got Metro, so it's going to be good for Metro, so you can go skunk it up. And there you go. I'm being so bad tonight, ain't I? Don't be mad at me. It's not my fault they lie and they have a horrible network. Woo, I felt that one. All right, new Pixel features dropped today. Okay, so we got some new Pixel stuff here. Google has released another feature drop software update for its Pixel phones. The update includes several major previously announced features, such as free VPN. Yay! That means it's going to slow you down. You're encrypted, but it's going to slow you down. It's going to take about half your speed away. Oh, great. Clear calling. You mean it didn't have clear calling in the beginning? What? An automatic multi-person transcription in the Recorder app. Oh. So you can sit in a room and record all these people and it transcripts them and stuff, Okay. Clear. It separates and labels different speakers. Oh, you can label. Oh, that's a pretty cool feature. So if you're in a business meeting, this is going to be great for if you're in a business meeting and you're recording the meeting, and then you can set up all the voices for each person's names. Oh, that's pretty cool. And once recording is complete, you can easily relabel speakers with their names. The free VPN and clear calling exclusive to the Pixel 7 series, while the new recorder is available for Pixel 6 and up. So there you go. All right, so another article we got here is Verizon N77 deployment is ahead of schedule. And I know our big YouTuber, SMT, did an article on it, or did a video on this already. So, but yeah. Of course, this is the 175 million POPs, which is fake. POPs is fake. Just remember that. These POPs terms, fake. You need to go by percentage of coverage, percentage of the land, square miles, percentage of square miles covered. That's what matters. The POPs don't make a damn difference. So yeah, they're kicking it pretty good. So Yeah, we're going to take a look here, a little bit of the maps. We're going to look at the Verizon maps, AT&T maps, see what's cooking and all that. And then Google starts testing encrypted RCS group chats and messages, so that's pretty good. And we talked about that Motorola phone last week. So there you go. You wasn't on live stream last week, was you? We talked about we talked about C-band last week. The real C-band. 6 and 7 gigahertz mid-band. N96 and 102.
Yeah.
All the unlicensed stuff. Yeah, that's what we talked about. And then I talked about this phone here too. So what do you think about this phone?
I like it. I mean, it's a good.
You like it?
You know, I just wish that the Motorola phones were like dual SIM, you know, and not like single SIMs. But you know,
did you see what the other person's lacking?
Probably some.
It doesn't have band 30 and 71.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I
mean, what?
The Motorola skipping on the bands.
How do you make an LTE phone with? I mean, band 30 you can do without because it's only 10 megahertz of LTE. I mean, so if you lose that as carrier aggregation, big deal. 71. So if you try to use this thing on T-Mobile, it ain't gonna work. It's like, yeah. Moto fails again. Come on now, Moto. Hello, Moto. Yeah, your phones all need to be struck by lightning. There you go. And it lacks 5G and band 2, so that's a double whammy for T-Mobile. They just announced their UC band 2. It's like, okay, well, this definitely ain't going to be the color's right for T-Mobile, but that doesn't mean it's going to work. So you got a magenta phone here, but it ain't going to work on magenta. Yeah, so okay. So that's enough of that. So that's a couple articles there. Of course, if you really want the good articles, you want to go to the big YouTuber channel. You go to SMT. That's right, the big YouTube channel. Let's see. We did that one already. Did that one. I lost my place. I always lose my place. I heard T-Mobile was going to migrate most of their LTE spectrum to 5G and turn their LTE to poop. Yep. That's exactly right. Yeah, so it's going to make every person on T-Mobile have to get a new phone. Yep. Got to get a new phone now. Well, you're going to have to get one for Verizon too, because Verizon's converting everything over to NR also. The only one they're leaving behind for LTE is band 13. So if you want to have band 13 only, yeah, keep your LTE phone. Thank you, Baby Yoda. And it's SMT. That's right. Peace to the live chat. That's right. Good to see you, buddy. How was the practice and game and all that good stuff tonight? What is it, soccer? I think it's soccer she plays. The S22 battery life is weak sauce. True. Jason says I would rather got for the Moto the stylus 5G. And also Moto phones have issues with Wi-Fi calling and AT&T, and some have issues with Verizon. Yeah. Motorola just has too many issues. Yeah, ever since Lenovo took them over or merged with them or whatever, it's just the same thing. It's just like T-Mobile buying Sprint. Sprint went to poop. Yeah. So when Lenovo got Motorola went to poop. So there you go. A lot of poop going on and around the globe. And you know what we do with poop? That's right. Oh, what would that pixel affect Visible's hotspot throttle? The VPN affect throttle and hotspot. Well, VPNs slow you down, that's for sure. Motorola has many phones that suck on AT&T and the other carriers. Yes. You can also do a whole stream on it. Yes, I could. Yeah. But I want to try to keep my stream on a positive nature. That's why I don't do too many streams on T-Mobile. I don't want to make all my viewers mad and they leave, you know. Bring down T-Mobile too much. Well, I mean, hey. It is what it is, as they say. The T-Mobile owned Assurance Wireless. I thought it was Assurance. I think it's Assurance Wireless. Oh, wireless lifeline service is stuck on LTE, and they have no idea when, if they're going to get 5G, would be the problem. Oh, gosh. Always some kind of problem going on. All right, so let's look at some other good news here. Let's see. Here we go. All right, so here's the FCC approvals for this week. Let's go back to the 7th. Last week we had the live stream, last week the 7th. So we did that phone the 30th, 6th. We did that. Oh, here we go. Look what we have here. We have the Samsung S23, S23 Plus, and S23 Ultra has been officially approved by the FCC. That's right. It's almost time for the Samsung event in February. So pretty soon we're going to get the actual true leaks. Of course, I am sick and tired of hearing rumors. Oh, the S23 is going to do this. Oh, it's not going to do this. Oh, I think it's going to do. All the rumors for the past year has drove me crazy. It's like, and like, what we got going on now? The iPhone 14 just come out, right? Can't find them. You can't buy them because all the factories are shut down in China. But they're already talking about the iPhone 15. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. They're talking about the iPhone 15, and it's a year away. It's like, why are we wasting our time? But that's what we all do. We talk about the future. We even do it on this channel all the time. We talk about the future. We talk about future technologies. We talk about 6G. Nope. We don't talk about 6G on this channel. Nope.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that.
Okay, that's right. We're not talking about 5G or 6G. Definitely not going to do that. That shit's 10 years away. Heck, I might kick the bucket before then. So I might never even see 6G come out. So, yeah, so we're not going to talk about it. But look at this. We got N2, 5. I'm not going to say the international bands because they don't matter. 12, 25, 30, 41, 48, 66, 71, and look, we got two 77s in here. Look at that. We got 77A. So I don't know what this Phone Scoop labeled it as A, so I don't know what their backing is, like A. So I guess that's A for AT&T. And then 77 is the C band that the FCC stupidly named, so which is 3.7. So I say 3.4 and 3.77 anyways. Then we got 258, so we got a new band for millimeter wave, which is good. And what is 258? Let's see, what's 258? Let's go down. 258 is 26 gigahertz. That's the K band. So now the S23 will have K band in it. And now
K above, K band.
258's K band.
KA, yeah. K, like a
K
above, yeah.
K, not KA. Just K.
KA 24 gigahertz on up?
No.
I'm pretty sure it is.
No, KA band is 39. Well, I guess 28 gigahertz is in KA band.
Oh, here we go. No, 27. Oh, it's almost. You're right. It's 27 gigahertz.
All right, let's go. Let's go do our lesson. I knew this was going to come up. So here we go. Here's our lesson for the day. L band is 1 to 2 gigahertz. S band is 2 to 4 gigahertz. And C band is 4 to 8 gigahertz. And X band is 8 to 12 gigahertz. KU band is 12 to 18 gigahertz, and K band is 18 to 27. And then we go from KA band 27 to 40 gigahertz, and then V band is 40 to 75 gigahertz. Yeah. And then you got the W band, which is the winner chicken dinner band, 75 gigahertz all the way up to 110 gigahertz, because you start pushing power to that shit and you're going to fry your chicken right there with the microwave. Yeah. And then millimeter wave band, which I don't know why they call it that, because all that shit from pretty much 8 gigahertz up is all millimeter wave band. I mean, pretty much. But they call the real millimeter band is 110 to 300 gigahertz. So that's the really high shit. And then, of course, you know what's after that. THZ. Terahertz.
Yep.
Yeah. Which is.
I'll be right back. Hold on, I'll be right back.
All right. So there. I knew that was going to come up, so I had this all ready, so I can just click on it. So there you go. All right, so let's go back here to the phone releases here. All right, so there's all your N bands there, and then of course you got your regular LTE bands. You got 2, 4, 5, 12, 13, 14, 25, 26, 30. Well, not 20. That's overseas. It's 26, 30. 38's overseas, 41. Then you got your 48. So you got your regular 48, regular 66, 71, and you got all those. So, and you got all these modes in there. You got wide CDMA, which is the old shit that's getting turned off. GSM, old shit turned off. And then you got your ultra wideband. So, ultra wideband is 6. Oh, I forget what it is now. What frequency ultra wideband is. It's either 6 gigahertz unlicensed or 60 gigahertz. I think it's actually 60 gigahertz. So I think it's in that one band we was talking about there. The 60 gigahertz band, which would make it the V band. Yeah. So I think it's the unlicensed V band is where that's at. So, and then let's see. So we got near field communications, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and all that. So the phone's approved. Of course, we can't see the specs yet because it's going to take a little bit for them to release, and then it's going to come over on this other tab right here where it says new release. So, of course, it's not listed here yet, but it will be. So it will actually show up here. And once it shows up here, then you'll be able to click on it. Like, well, I don't want to click on that one. Let's click on another one here. By carrier or manufacturer, let's click on like the S22. So when you click on the S22, it'll be like this. So once they have all the specs released, exactly what it is, we'll be able to go and look here. So maybe by next live stream next week, we'll be able to go down here and look at all that. And yeah, while we're talking about next week is the 14th. No, today's 14th. Next week is 21st. So yeah, Christmas is that weekend. So I'm pretty sure next week I'm going to do my live stream, my Christmas live stream, just like I did last year. We're going to have a little Christmas party. Probably going to do like a $50 giveaway for Christmas to one lucky viewer. That's right. So we're going to do that. So stay tuned for next week for the Christmas party on RFK Tech USA. We're going to give away $50 to somebody. And yeah, they'll have a nice Merry Christmas. They can put it towards a phone or buy a charging cable to your phone that don't come in your phone no more, or whatever you want to do with it. So, but yeah, these are going to show all the specs here. So it'll be interesting to see how much difference this is. Now, one thing on the display is going to have something done to it. I forget what it's going to be. I read one of the rumors. It's not confirmed, but there's something about this display that was supposed to be did a little bit better. I don't remember what it was. The battery is supposed to be exactly the same. 5,000 milliamps. Is not supposed to be the SDI or the solid state battery, which is the stack battery. It's not supposed to do that. So that tech is delayed for some reason. No solid state battery, which is disappointing. It's going to have the new processor. I heard it's going to have maybe more RAM though. I heard it might have like 16 gigs of RAM this time. And storage is the same. It will be 256 to 1 gig or a terabyte. The camera is going to, of course, have the new 200 megapixel camera. And then there's a whole bunch of AI upgrades. And the space zoom is going to be in the night shot. So the sensor is going to be bigger and better. The night shot's going to be better. And the space zoom is going to be better. It's just going to be, the camera is going to be like out of this world. And there's a rumor that it's going to have 8K at 30 frames per second. 8K at 30. And it may have 8K at 60. I don't know. We'll have to see. But there was a rumor that said it's going to have a higher frame rate. So even if it has 8K 30, that's pretty good. Of course, right now, there's really not anything you can watch 8K on. But hey, if you have a new baby and you want to take an 8K video of your new baby being born, so that way here in 15 years when you get 6G on terahertz, you can share the video lightning fast right to your friends. Say, hey, here's what my baby looked like when it was born 15 years ago. So there you go. So you already be future-proof there. So you can be flying your electric car through the air like the Jetsons and all that good stuff. Front camera, I heard is going to be a little bit better too. And then, of course, the network bands, they already released that, so we saw that. And then the phone's supposed to be a little bit thinner this time too. It's supposed to be just a teeny bit thinner. And of course, the sides are supposed to be more flatter instead of curved, because curves out, flat is in. It's just like headlights on cars. We had round headlights, and they go, oh, this is boring. So they make square or rectangular headlights, and then they go, oh, well, this is boring. We're going back to round. So they go back to round, and then they go back to round. Then they come up with these new headlamps now. And then they got the projectors, which is still round. And, it's just back and forth, back and forth. I mean, you can only do so many combinations over the years, You run out of ideas. But of course, now cars has got the new futuristic lights, It's got the multi-LED. It's like 4 LEDs, but each one pointing in a certain way instead of trying to do it with one bulb. So that's how technology evolves. So eventually we're going to have plastic phones, and you just wrap them around your arm, and then when you touch it, the display will come up and open up and shine and look at it, and then it'll be completely flat. And then when you're done with your phone, you hit a button, then it goes back curved around your arm, so you don't clip it and knock it off and break it. Who knows? It's all in your imagination what's going to come out in the future. So let's see what else. I heard it's going to have Bluetooth 5.3, the new Bluetooth band, and it's supposed to have the other what's it called? There's a new technology. It's lossless audio. It's lossless audio across Bluetooth. So since we don't have headphones anymore, you got to use Bluetooth. So they're enhancing the Bluetooth to make it better. So when you put your headphones on, you're going to get full range. It's going to be like near lossless audio, which is great. So if you like to listen to music on your phone, the S23 is going to be the one to get. And Type-C connector, yeah, it's going to have Wi-Fi 6E in it again, because I don't think we're ready for Wi-Fi 7 yet. You never know. Maybe the S23 Ultra will be the first phone with Wi-Fi 7 in it. You never know. Samsung's done that before, come out with new tech like that right off. I mean, we just did a live stream on it, and I explained Wi-Fi 7 just recently. And then it's got a better sampling mode for the touchscreen, for gaming. Stereo speakers, that's all the same. Fast charging is supposed to stay the same. And that's pretty much it. So there's not much changing in the S23 Ultra, but what it is changing is really good. And then, of course, don't forget the X70 modem is confirmed too. They said that's coming. So, and it's going to have 4 carrier aggregation on NR. It's going to be really, really good phone. So, all right, let's go back and look and see what you guys are saying in the chat here. Let's see, chitty chat. Chitty chitty bang bang. I lost my place here again. Okay. Oh, you guys are not chatting up very much here. Let's see, T-Mobile. Oh yeah, you guys didn't say anything. Okay, so you didn't say nothing. How many customers do they have? How many customers who have? Oh, are you talking about Boost Mobile? Let's see. Or were you talking about? Yeah, I think you're talking about Boost Mobile. I don't know. You have to clarify that. You got to remember, whenever you type something in chat, if I'm talking about it, you got to say, you got to add words of what I'm saying, whatever I'm saying. You can't just blur it out without saying it, because sometimes I get behind in the chat and everything. So it takes a little while. All right. So let's go ahead. I guess we're waiting on Zero Cool to come back. Yeah. As soon as he comes back, we'll go do the topic tonight. But while we're waiting on him to come back, let's do this. Let's go look at, I got another nice article here. Let's see. What do I do with it? Over here? What do I do with it? I got so much stuff open over here. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's what I want to talk about next. All right, so here we go. Dish announced that they are... Oh, Assurance Wireless? I don't know. Well, I mean, Assurance Wireless is an insurance company. I guess. Let me look up. I thought Assurance was like Assurion. Man, I can't type with a beanbag tonight. Insurance wireless. Let me look that up because I'm not really sure if it's an insurance company or if it's insurance wireless unlimited. Okay, that's what they call the government phone program. Okay, that's what it is. See if it tells me how many people they have. Subscription. Let's see. Lifeline phone service. Assurance wireless subscription. It doesn't tell me how many people have it. Let's see. You get unlimited data, text, and minutes, plus 10 gigs of mobile hotspot. Okay. I don't know how many people they have. It's not telling me in here.
Right. Back.
You know how many customers they have for Assurance Wireless?
Assurance
Somebody asked
wireless?
that.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Yeah, the Lifeline thing.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to.
I'm doing a search to see if I can find it. I ain't having no luck here, but let's see how many million people. I mean, they probably got 2 or 3 million people. Here's a Wikipedia. I know the wiki will tell us. The Wikipedia eligibility, ownership, references. Oh, well, I guess it's not going to tell me. Huh. I guess it's not going to tell us. Nope, doesn't say.
That's kind of hard info to figure out because, like, there's so many people that abuse that system, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
And, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't say how many customers there is. It says there's 500 employees. Let's see. Assurance Wireless. Yeah, it doesn't say. It doesn't say how many customers they have. Unless we go to their website. Here, let's go to their website and see if it says. Let's see. Doesn't say. Assurance Wireless. Let's see. About us. Let's see. Maybe it'll tell us how many. Let me see. Maybe it says they're in 40 states and 40 states. I mean, basically, you're eligible for it if you're like on SNAP or HUD, stuff like that, the government assistance stuff. So however many people is like on that system would tell you how many it is, but they don't reveal how many. It doesn't say here how many people. I'm going to guess it's probably like 20 million. No, it's probably not even that many. It's probably more like 8 to 10 million, just to guess. But I don't know. Feel free. Anybody wants to look that up for us here in the live stream, you can look it up and see. But I don't know. Hopefully, the T-Mobile owned Assurance Lifeline is able to migrate customers to 5G devices before they move on. Well, see, the trouble with 5G devices are expensive.
Devices. You get free devices over there. So
yeah, but the devices ain't gonna work.
Nope.
Oh gosh. Hello, 911. I need an ambulance. And the 911 operator say, "What did you say? I can't hear you. Move to a better location. I'm underneath the damn tower." Oh, damn. Yeah, so we got to watch out for that stuff, man. Yeah, so there you go. All right, so let's talk about Dishy. Dishy 5G network covers less than 30% of the U.S. population. So there you go. What is the coverage for Verizon? Population coverage, not the damn pop slice. Verizon is like up to, I think they're approaching 72% right now. It's either 71 or 72%. AT&T is catching up to Verizon fast. I think they're at 71% or 72. I don't know the official numbers because it's been a year since they've actually released it. There's one site called Whistle Out that actually got the data on how many square miles that they got. So So we'll have to wait till those new numbers come out, and then we'll see where they are. And then, of course, T-Mobile was in last place. There's 62% of the population of square miles covered. And then, of course, the fourth carrier has 30% of the population. But that's amazing that Dish has went from 0 to 30 in 1 year.
I'm very impressed with Dish.
And they're going to go to 70% and be equal to Verizon and AT&T in another year. Actually, less than a year, because isn't it June the deadline for 70%?
I would have to look up the exact.
I think that's, well, it's right here in the article. It's right here. Let's scroll down. It's right here. So let's see. Oh, okay. So 4 months after meeting the FCC's June 14, 22 coverage requirement offering 5G to 20% of the population, Dish now says that they cover in excess of 25% now. So they're approaching 30%. Let's see what they say here. And it says Dish has 10,000 towers operational right now. 10,000 towers. That's pretty impressive. And they are adding 1,000 towers per month. Do you remember some other company that said that they was going to add 1,000 towers per month? Do you remember that? There's another company that said, we're going to put up 1,000 towers a month in the United States.
Damn T-Mobile.
That's right. Exceptionalized. Did they ever do it? What did they get up to? Maybe about 300 or 400 a month? That's maximum? Yeah. So, yeah, they failed. But they claim to have the most 5G in the country. How can you have the most 5G in the country when you only cover 62% of the country? Come on now. All right, so the goal is to have 15,000 towers operational by June. All right, so let's see. But only growing the company's 5G network coverage by a little more than 5% in 4 months doesn't sit well with the financial community. Well, I guess not. New Street Research said they believe the company should be closer to 40% coverage with its network build-out and wants to hit the next FCC coverage mandate of 70% of the U.S. population by June 14, 2023. That's 6 months from now. I don't know. I'm a little scared about this. Do you think they can do it?
I think they can.
Do you realize how many more? I mean, look, it took 10,000 towers to get to 30%. So if you double that, that's 60%. So that's another 20. That's another 10,000 towers. But then this says here the goal was 15,000 towers. So I guess 25,000 towers will get you the 70%. Because that's about how many tower sites that Verizon and AT&T have. They each have about 25 to 30,000 towers each, right? Now, I'm not counting small cells. I'm just talking about macro sites, right?
Well, I mean, the reason why I say that they can do this is because they already have like the pace going, right? So they already know exactly.
Right. So they got the crews out there, yeah.
They got the groove going. They got the crews out.
All they got to do is fight the tornadoes and fight the blizzards and the cold and the wind and the rain and all that stuff. So that's all they got to fight.
I think they can do
it. So, I mean, that's crazy to go from 0 to 70% coverage equal to AT&T and Verizon in 1 year. Isn't that crazy?
I think it's good.
I think that's amazing. And then you got T-Mobile spinning their wheels for what, 10 years trying to catch up to Verizon and AT&T? It's pathetic, man. Really pathetic. But hey, it's the money. The money's what gets her done. And smart people, definitely not Neville Revel the Pebble getting it done. That's for sure. Oh my gosh. If I had any T-Mobile fans on my live stream, they're all gone. So I got 17 non-T-Mobile people in my live stream because I'm just dogging them like crazy. Okay, so Dish Network spokesman, however, said the company's focused on meeting that 23 goal. So they're trying really, really hard to do it. The network build is not a linear process, so as we continue to stay laser focused on the meeting build requirement for the FCC. So that's what they're trying to do. Let's see, we've got another. I am sure Dish using shared sites instead of building 100% of new sites. Well, that's true because all they got to do is just add antennas and equipment and fiber to every site that Verizon has, and AT&T. Yeah, basically throw the stuff up everywhere. And if they do that, they'll be at 70%. And then they can go back, and if they have some areas or some gaps and stuff, they can always go and put small cells up or do some rooftops, or, they can just fill in the areas that needs, a little bit more density and stuff. But from what I'm hearing by Carlos is they're already doing a very dense deployment in the first place. Mm-hmm. So, and of course you already know they're putting LTE equipment up, but it's standalone 5G. It's not real 5G equipment because the frequencies they have are LTE frequencies. So they're forced to do the same exact thing T-Mobile did. So you got to put band 70 up, band 66 up. What's the other one? Well, band 71. That's the only 3 bands they have, I think.
Yeah.
If I remember right.
Yeah.
Here, this will tell us. Let's go to carriers. Let's just go right straight here to Boost and see what they got here. Well, do we have Dish in here yet? No, we don't have no Dish in here yet. Why didn't they put Dish in here yet? Oh, other carriers. Nextel, Virgin Mobile, Sprint, Southern Link. The Boost is the closest thing they got. But this is not accurate because this is still listing the Sprint frequencies. So, yeah, this is not helping. I gotta find the article again. I got so many damn articles left over here. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so whatever the frequencies is. So I think it's only like 3 frequencies, a couple mid band and low band. That's it. So they don't have very many frequencies. And then supposedly once they get done getting everything up 70% and meet the guideline, then they're going to go back up and do a secondary deployment on all the sites and add N48 to all their PALs and their GAAs and try to get on faster than Verizon, because whoever gets the GAA unlicensed part of the band 48, the freebie stuff, whoever turns it on first gets it. So if Verizon turns it on, then that blocks everybody else. They can't use it. So first come, first serve. Now the PAL stuff they can do. So if they got 2 20 megahertz channels, they compare them together, make one N48 channel, and that's going to help them tremendously. So, but the only thing is the range is going to be crap because, N40 ain't going to have the range because it don't have massive MIMO and it's low power. So low gain antennas. So, but that will help with capacity, at least close to the tower. So, and then of course they did buy some N77 too, right? And I think they bought some 3.4. So even if they put up 20 of each of those two, and then 40 of N48, that's 40, and then another 40. But that's, well, see, I don't know how many carrier aggregation Dish can do since it's a standalone. I'll have to ask Carlos that.
I think they're working on 3 right now. So
yeah, that's why I think they got 3 right, because they got 66, 70, and 71.
Yeah.
But with standalone, I forget how. I think you can, well, wait a minute. It says right on the modem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it says right on the modem. So let's look at the modem.
Calling with your Apple ID verification code.
Let's see. Oh, here's
0.
Here's a Snapdragon right here, the X70. It should, let's see, where's the specs at? Come on, where's the specs at? Oh, here it is, right down here. All right, so standalone. Well, this is X70. I don't know what the X60 could do, but let's see. Oh, here, standalone, 4 carrier aggregation. See, that's the only bad thing with the technology right now. The phones have not caught up to the technology. Now, for millimeter wave, you can use 8 carrier aggregation. But see, when you go sub 7, you can do a total of 800 megahertz bandwidth Oh no, 300 megahertz with sub 7. But it's only 4 carrier aggregation. And so if you have an S22 Ultra, you can only do 3. So I actually don't see how Dish is going to work. How is Dish even going to work with if they got six different frequency bands? That's more than that. So you have 6. So if you do 3.4, 3.7, and N48, and then the 3 other, that's 6. So how is Dish going to do 6 frequencies, carrier aggregate them together, and make it work when the modems in the phone can't even do it?
You know how.
So you see how all this 5G stuff is just crazy. Now you understand why they're going slow with this stuff, and they're still putting the old stuff up and they're keeping it non-standalone for a reason, because they can't go to standalone. Yeah. And you could do standalone if you got big channels, like if you got 2 100 megahertz channels and then you got another 40 megahertz channel, that's 240 megahertz of spectrum, which that 3 carrier aggregation is going to work because it's large bandwidths. But when you take a bunch of slivers and put them together, it's not going to work because you're limited to the amount of slivers that you can actually do. So as you see, this is just completely crazy. So the technology in the phones are not going fast enough, and then yet everybody wants to buy an old phone, they want to do a budget phone.
Right.
They want to buy a budget phone that has an X60 modem in it. X6 or X55 or X62, X60. They want to buy a phone with those old modems that can do 2 carrier aggregation. So it does 5G, but it doesn't do very many of the 5Gs. So that's what the whole problem is. So until everything catches up, it's going to be kind of difficult. Well, where did this go again? I'm looking for it. All right, here's Dishy right here. Okay, so here we go. So here's Dishy here. Oh yeah, we already talked about that. Okay, so after the 2023 deadline, Dish must cover 75% of the population in each of the 400 or so partial economic areas by mid-2025. So that's a POPs thing. So it's 75% of the POPs, I guess, is what that means. The fake POPs.
Yeah.
The pop-a-doodle-doo. That's what it is. All right, so we did that. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat here. You guys ain't very chatty tonight. Let's see. Issue is phones can get these features enabled, but most men would never go back enable. Well, that's the other problem. Yep, firmware-wise. Paul Mitchell says, you'll need a dish. You don't need a dish for Dish. No. All right, so let's talk about the big topic tonight. Will it be the end of macro high-power auctions? So will the FCC be doing any more auctions for frequencies? For high-power micro, like N77?
I think they will.
N77 and 3.4 gigahertz. So 3.7, 3.4 are 2 bands that are amazing, right? You can use massive MIMO. They got good range. You can get 3 miles out of it.
3.1
but here's the problem. Here's the big problem right here. Wireless ISP Association, like Charter, urge against high power on the CBS rule. So they're fighting high power on band 48. And the reason why they're fighting it is because if you go to high power on the PAL license, guess what's that do? That means you're broadcasting further distance. And if you want to use a frequency for non-licensed use, GAA, it's going to knock you out and you won't be able to use it. So that's exactly what they're talking about here. So they're saying that it's going to cause it's not so much interference. It's just that the size of the area that you paid to get an auction for a license
that's what I'm saying. Will
get bigger.
That's what I'm saying. Like the more frequency range that you have on like your, especially your uplink, that's going to bleed over into other people's.
Yeah. So if you have a 2 mile circle with your low power stuff turned on, you got a 2 mile circle from your transmitter. If the FCC says, "Oh yeah, you guys can go up a little bit higher in power," you go up a little higher power. Now you're doing a 4 mile circle, 2 miles each way. So the tower will only cover 2 miles, or cover 2 miles now versus 1 mile. But guess what? If somebody else is within that range, now they can't use the unlicensed.
Right.
You can't use unlicensed, so it actually prevents you from transmitting. Because the way the spectrum access sharing does is first the transmit gets to transmit. And then when you stop transmitting, then somebody else can take over. So guess what? If your equipment fails and goes down, somebody else can start transmitting and then they get it. And then after you fix your equipment, your transmitter, you can't transmit until their shit breaks down. When their shit breaks down, then you can take over. Isn't that just like a bunch of horse shit that you got to go through that? And there's a lot of companies that doesn't even want to mess with band 48 for that reason. So now it's a fight between the ISPs and the carriers. Now they're fighting over the power, and they're also fighting over the new band, the 3.1 gigahertz. So that's the problem. So here's that article there. What's this one here? Oh, that's 10 gigahertz. We'll talk about that in a minute. We're also going to talk about 13 gigahertz here in a minute too. All right, so here's the wireless internet service providers champion. I don't know why they use stupid words like this. Basically, what that says is there's a fight. There's a fight against the ISPs versus the carriers, is what it is. The ISPs want 3.1 to be CBRS.
I can tell you why that is, because basically, this is going to offload a lot of traffic. I mean, this is right. This is going to really help them, to deliver capacity.
Because Xfinity and Spectrum Mobile are using Verizon as a MVNO. Yeah. And the more data they use, the more they got to pay. So if they build their own 3.1, 3.5 gigahertz systems using this shared shit, they can use the spectrum for free and offload the traffic onto those sites and their Wi-Fi system to save money, because Verizon charges a lot of money to use the airwaves, right?
I do.
That's right. And all these people calling me. Seems like every time I do a live stream, I get all these phone calls. Just got to text them and tell them I'm on the phone. On live stream YouTube. There you go. I'm going to send this to 2 people because I got 2 phone calls. Copy. Okay. I'm going to go back and paste. Let me go paste. There we go. Got that out of the way. So anyways, back to our problem here. Everybody's fighting over this stuff. So crazy. So right now there's a fight. Okay, so there's right now they're saying there's 285,000 CBRS radio devices already deployed in USA. I find that hard to believe. Do you believe that statement?
How many?
I don't think it says 285,000.
Yes, and I will tell you why, because
well, that's because the range is so damn short, and if you use it for indoors, you got to use multiple devices. So
yeah, they are adding a lot, So
yeah, because they're covering a lot of their business areas and stuff too. So yeah, they say they got 285,000 already deployed. So they're trying to hurry up and get that shit deployed and turned on so they can get first dibs on those free frequencies. That's what they're trying to do. Yeah. And then the other people, which is the CTIA, which is the Association for the Carriers, for the wireless carriers, are saying, no, we need 3.1 to 3.4 to go to macro cells and auction it off like we did for 3.7 and 3.4. That's what we need. And they're saying, here's the biggest thing right here. They're saying the wireless industry auctions contributed to $825 billion in gross DP for America's economy and enabled 4.5 million jobs in 2020 alone. Of course, for the wireless industry to try to continue to provide these kinds of positive effects on the community or economy, mobile operators need access to dedicated licensed spectrum. So basically, we need an auction. So basically, what the FCC needs to do is tell the ISPs, G, F, Y, right? I'm just trying to be nice. G. So that's what they need to say, and then the FCC needs to grow a big sack of these nuts.
Carry balls.
Oh shit! Bad. I was trying to be nice, and then Zero comes in and goes, blah, just throw them right on your face.
You know what they need to do.
But the problem is the FCC are ballless. They don't have any balls.
They have no.
And they're dumb. Yeah. And they're stupid. Anybody that names 3.7 gigahertz C-band is dumber than a box of rocks. I can just see this stream is going to get demonetized, you know. Your streamer is not suitable for ads. Well, I don't care. I don't care. I'm just going to say this because it needs to be said. The FCC has done a horrible job of giving us spectrum for 5G. That's why we don't have 5G right now, is because they keep giving it away to other people for free and watered down. It's like, okay, I want a glass of whiskey. All right, here's your whiskey. All right, pour your whiskey. It's got half water and it's got half whiskey in it. And they give you, oh, here you go. Well, what do you want me to do with that? Well, just drink it. Yeah, but it's only half whiskey and half water. I don't want the water. I want all whiskey. And that's what the carriers are saying. We want the whole thing. We want to do 5G. We want to do 64 by 64 multiple user, massive MIMO with beamforming. And we want to beam that shit, that S-band. We want to beam it 3 miles and get indoor coverage because uplink booster's coming soon. As soon as uplink booster is applied to the Ericsson stuff, that TDD frequency is going to come alive. It's going to come alive like you've never seen before. It's going to be amazing. They won't need to convert the band to FDD. They won't need to, because with uplink booster and TDD, it's going to be amazing, especially when we go to 128 by 128 full duplex.
I'm just going to disagree with you on that.
Full duplex panels. When they come up with those panels, it's going to be even better for TDD.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be better if they had both, especially an uplink booster on FDD? That'd be a lot better.
Well, I mean, yeah, but the problem is then it's not going to be as efficient because you're splitting the frequency. The frequency is more efficient when you use the same frequency for transmit and receive because you get more spectrum that way. So if you got 100 megahertz of spectrum, you got 100 megahertz for download and you got 100 megahertz for upload because you can uplink the same time you're downlinking. But the trouble is the equipment's not quite good enough to do that because the transmit and receive is on the same spot. So the transmit's here, receives here. So they're like overloading. So that desensitizes
over TDD any day of the week.
Yeah, well, I know you do because you was a Neville to Pebble T-Mobile guy. That's why, because that's how they do it with N41. That's the only way N41 will work because it's a garbage band. It's crazy. It's got so much interference and all that. And if you don't do 64 by 64 or massive MIMO, then you're shooting yourself in the foot even more. But once 128 by 128 comes out with full duplex, which means all the 128 transmits on one side and the other 128s on the receive side. So the receive and transmit are split in two. So you have transmit, receive. And then there'll be a 90 dB isolation right in the middle. It'll act like just like a duplexer does on VHF, UHF equipment. Like when you have a repeater that's only like 1 megahertz away, you're transmitting on this frequency, and then 1 megahertz below it, you're transmitting on the same frequency, but pretty much. I mean, not very far away. Like on 144 VHF on amateur radio, it's 600 kilohertz below whatever you're doing or above, and you have to have a duplexer. Because you got to do that isolation. You got to isolate. Otherwise, it'll just do a complete loop back and it'll interfere. The transmit will kill the receive, and then the repeater doesn't work. And that's exactly what's happening with what's happening with TDD. You can't turn the power up too much because then you desensitize your receive, and then you can't hear the damn phones anymore. And that's what the problem is with that 41.
That's what I'm saying. FDD is a lot better because you have separate.
Well, FDD is better if you don't have the equipment to fix that. But with the equipment coming out soon, that'll fix it. So, I know. I know. I have too much faith in that stuff. Yeah, I know exactly. So, but I think 128 by 128 massive MIMO, when it comes out and you use it for TDD, it's going to be like amazing. You won't need low band. You won't need the band 2 and 66 and band 30 and all that shit. Bands 13, band 12, all those bands. All that L-band shit, just kick it out the door. You won't need the L-band. Just stick with S-band. If you got 200 megahertz of S-band, I'm going to keep saying S-band. You got 200 megahertz of S-band, and you got a 128 by 128 panel with very high spectral efficiency and 90 dB isolation between the receive and transmit. And massive beamforming. I mean, you got 128 antennas spraying in all different directions, looking for them phones and say, "Hey, little phone, where are you? Oh, I see you over there. You're in that basement of that building over there. I see you over there. Okay, here, let's connect the data stream." And bang, you got a 200 megahertz data stream. 200 megahertz up, 200 megahertz down. You have a full duplex. You'll be just like DOCSIS. You'll be just like you know who? Did I say that?
DOCSIS.
Yeah.
Dennis.
Full
Sorry.
DOCSIS. Yeah. The DOCSIS 4.0. You got symmetrical. That's the term he uses. Symmetrical data speed. You know, up and down is the same speed. Problem solved. Wouldn't you like to have a gigabit up and a gigabit down? Wouldn't that be nice?
Would. And that's the thing.
You can get that with 128 by 128 massive MIO and 200 megahertz. You can get that.
You could
very
do
easy.
it on 64 by 64. What's all those freaking freaks are all carrier-agged on FDD? You can. I know for sure.
But see, you don't need to do all that stuff. You don't need to, because what you're doing is you're splitting it up. Now you won't have 200 megahertz. Now you have to set aside like 60 or 70 megahertz for the uplink, and then now you won't have the full 200 down. So, but yeah, I see where you're at. Like today,
yeah, right.
Yeah, today we need FDD to make it work. But in the future, we won't need FDD. So why even worry about it? Why worry about FDD? Just let's go straight to keep it as TDD. Use the Band-Aid and the crutches of N5 and N2 and N71 and all that bullshit. It could be the uplink. Make that the uplink now, and then use the new stuff for the downlink, and then be done with it. And then once standalone comes out, when the new equipment comes out in 2 years, here's the sad thing. Every panel up there on the tower that they're putting up right now, all these 64 by 64 panels they're putting up on the sites right now, are all coming down in 2 years. In 2 years, they're going to rip all them antennas down, and they're going to replace it with 128 by 128, this new full duplex antenna. It's coming. Mark my words. You guys will see it. You say, wow, Ricky talked about this 2 years ago.
Ericsson will have it out first. So yes,
they will. Yep, they will. They'll have that 128 by 128. They'll have that uplink booster technology. You could be inside a building and make a phone call, have gig down, gig up, and everybody's going to be happy.
I got your
It's
next
gonna be
poll
amazing.
question, Ricky. Your next poll question is going to be: will Ricky be happy with T-Mobile's 120 by 120 Massive MMO 5G?
Okay. All right, let's close this poll question first here. Say, if you got UC icon on your phone, did you notice a difference from LTE? So we'll end this bad boy. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Man, you guys ain't very chatty tonight. You guys must be watching another live stream or watching football, watching basketball or something like that. Or maybe we're just boring you guys, maybe. That's a possibility. All right, the poll didn't end. I clicked and poll it didn't end. Let's try it again. I clicked it again. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's a tie. Look at that. We got 14 votes. It's tied. 50% of you noticed a difference, and then 50% of you said you didn't notice a difference. Wow, that's crazy. So what's our next poll question? Start a poll. What's our next question? What's our next poll?
Well, I don't know. It's a good question. I hear. Actually, no, I got one.
Okay.
Do you think Dish Network, Dish Wireless, whatever, will reach its its coverage goals, by whatever the date is next year? Or
Fucking type right today. Bye.
I couldn't type right today at all. I'm like, oh my gosh. No, I don't like how the new Google keyboard is on the Galaxy series.
Oh yeah.
It's complete shit.
Yeah, I don't like it either. Yeah. There we go. Here's your next question. Do you think Dish will reach its 70% goal of coverage required by FCC?
There you go.
And of course, this is in June of 20. It's coming up. You think they're going to reach it? So there's a new poll question. Okay. All right. So let's go back here. Okay. So we already beat this dead horse to the ground here. So, and here's the other thing. Here is something from the FCC. Look at what we got. Did you see this? It's official.
I didn't. I mean, I know. I didn't read that yet.
Because of the ISPs, so Wireless ISP Association, they made a request with the FCC. Look at this. Ex parte exemption. So basically what they're doing is they're demanding the FCC to do a negotiation with the DoD and ask them if they're willing to leave the ban for 5G. If the DoD says, no, we don't want to do it, then the FCC is going to take the side of the wireless ISPs and say, okay, let's make this CBRS. And that's it. We're not getting any more macro bands. It's over with. You got 3.4 and 3.7 for 5G. That's it. Meanwhile, all these other countries has got C-band, and 79, real C-band.
What about your 12 and 13 gigahertz? You put that in a macro tower.
Well, you can do it, but it's not going to have the range. It's not going to have the range. Yeah, that's our next topic. We're going to be talking about that next. We're going to talk about it. Yeah, we're doing a humdinger here tonight. That's what we're doing. But anyways, here's the thing. So here's the notice right here. So now they're fighting over it. So everybody's all fighting. They're all talking about it. They're all trying to see what they're going to do. So like it says right here in the topic, it says, is the end of macro high power auctions over? It very well might be. And that's a shame. That's sad too, because 3 gigahertz is a great band. Great band for 5G. And the FCC is effing it up. And, there's no reason why they can't make the wireless, whoever buys these frequencies, just like 77 and 3.5, have them pay to move. We paid the satellite people to move their frequencies. Why can't we move the DoD down from 3 gigahertz to 3.1? They could actually condense all their operations down on the very low end of the band, put filters on their shit, and it won't interfere, and it'll be good. So, yeah, here's the other thing here too. Wireless Telecommunications Bureau exempts certain communications from ex parte permit but disclose requirements. So yeah, here's the other part of it too. See here, 3.1, 3.4.
Yeah.
So that's what they're trying to make CBRS. They're looking for the easy way out. So the FCC is just taking the aside. They go, oh, we need to take care of Comcast. We need to take care of Spectrum. We need to take care of all these people. And you know who's going to be hurt the most by this? If it does go CBRS?
Consumers?
Who's going to hurt the most? Verizon will.
No.
Verizon will lose a lot of money because they won't be doing as much data. They're going to be offloading it to their Wi-Fi and this band 48 number 2 stuff, whatever, 42 and a half, or maybe it'll be band 48. Maybe they'll just make it 3.1 to 3.5 will be band 48. They'll just expand it. It'll be several hundred megahertz worth of free stuff. It'll be just like T-Mobile. Yeah, let's just give the frequencies away for free. Yeah.
Oh, God, don't say that.
That's what they're trying to do. And it's going to hurt the economy, too. And there's already some vendors out there that's deploying this CBRS shit that are already complaining. They're complaining because the shit does not work very well. For all the work you got to do, and then you got to do the SAS stuff, which is what I got that up here on my screen somewhere. Where is it at here? I can't. No, it's not there. Where is that? Nope. Right here. Well, the AFC is going to be for the 10 gigahertz band. We're going to talk about next. But the Wi-Fi band 6 and 7 gigahertz is going to use AFC, which is automated frequency coordination. So it doesn't mess up weather radar for the National Weather Service. So that's what they use. Now they use SAS, Spectrum Access Sharing, and that's what they're going to use for 10 gigahertz band because they want to do the same thing. They want to do the same thing. They want to do either CBRS or they want to do a simpler version and just make it just like the unlicensed 6 and 7 gigahertz and make it AFC system and make it for the 10 gigahertz band. So right now the 10 gigahertz band is up too. So they're trying to get 500 megahertz of spectrum to use in the 10 to 10.5 gigahertz band. So that's what they're trying to do. That's the next step. Now, so Caleb, what do you think the range would be for 10 gigahertz? You know, your typical 1 watt power and your ERP of what, 30 or 40?
And I
50?
can't really, the thing is, I can't really speculate too much on that because it's all dependent on the, see, the higher frequency you go, the more power you need, right? So,
yeah, but then the more power you can't do because it's microwave and it bounces everywhere.
Well,
out of control.
I mean, they're going to turn that microwave into just regular just cellular bands, right? But the problem, like I mentioned earlier, is it's going to interfere with a lot of microwave systems that are on 10 gigahertz.
Right. That's why they want to do the either DFS or SAS on CBRS. They want to copy band 48 and do the same kind of system on 10 gigahertz.
I personally think it's going to have to be DFS. Right. So that's
what I was thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So, I mean, here's what I'm going to say related to that. I'm glad they're thinking about it. I'm glad they're thinking that band is going to be available. You see, the FCC, they're trying to squeeze out as much spectrum as they can to really put it on mobile use, like for 5G, like the 10 gigahertz, like the 12 gigahertz, the 13 gigahertz they're thinking about doing now, right?
Yeah,
so
it's the fight of the spectrum.
They're really trying to get as much on air for the mobile operators as possible. That's all great, but the big question is, how do you, if you're going to lead, the 5G, the 6G standard, that how are you going to implement it, right? What rules, what power limits, what ERP, what EME standards are you going to
Yep.
have, right? So it's just there's a lot of questions,
Right.
that need to be asked, and a lot of studies and a lot of engineering studies that need
Yep.
to be done. But I guess the good part is, like, again, what I'll say is I'm glad we're putting more spectrum to 5G. So
Yep. And look here, the coalition's proposal would be especially useful for backhaul, middle mile, or other point-to-point services. So wireless backhaul, like IAB, integrated access backhaul, it's in the 3GPP standard. So it could be that maybe this would be better to use as point-to-point because there'll be less interference because it'll be pinpointed from one point to the other point. And if it causes interference, you just change the frequency. Because you wouldn't be using the whole 500 megahertz of bandwidth.
But here's the cool part: like Open RAN will do that for you automatically.
True. So it's possible to use this as wireless backhaul for all the 5G carriers just to get that rural coverage because you don't have no fiber out there. You can just beam that shit across the 10 gigahertz band. So and then possibly use 13 gigahertz and use it for actual small cells.
So yeah, actually,
to get you a 1 mile circle of coverage.
Well, actually, hold on. I was actually just kind of thinking something. Now, picture this.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought of this in my head. Picture this.
Uh-oh.
Picture this. Hold on, everybody. Here we go. Here's my RF. Here's my RF brain at work. Okay.
All right. Here we go.
12 gigahertz. Picture this on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
You have 12 gigahertz. How many, like 500 megahertz? They're going to propose for 500 megahertz of that.
Yep.
On the downlink.
That's right.
Plus, that's just for mobile use. Plus, on top of that, you have these satellite bands like the Starlink, the ATS people also providing the satellite service on 12 gigahertz just for you. And then you have the whole 13 gigahertz that is also inoperable with satellites for your uplink somehow.
Yep.
That would be fucking fire. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah, that does sound like a good idea.
Does that sound nice?
Yeah.
That sounds nice.
And of course, they're saying here, they said that the simpler AFC system for the 6 gigahertz band is well along in development and provides more appropriate model for the 10 gigahertz band. The commission is also considering AFC for the unlicensed or secondary operations in the 4.9 gigahertz band.
Yep, that's coming too.
And C-band. The real C-band. That's right. All right, so there's the 10 gigahertz. Now let's go over here. There's a shit ton of articles on all of this stuff. So that's what I did. I just put up every one of these articles, and we're just going to hash out this 3.1, 10 gigahertz, 12 gigahertz. I know you guys in the chat here are probably just spinning your head. It's like, I don't even know what any of these numbers mean. I'm just spinning my head around. But what it boils down into is the fight over 5G and for more spectrum for you guys so that you can have a better service.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, so let's go over here. Okay, so
honestly,
I'm done with that
opinion,
one.
I think the WISPs are fucking it up.
Okay, yeah, I think so too. I think they're cheapskates. They got all that money. They're overcharging people for cable. They're rich as hell, and they're wanting to just put more money in their pocket and screw the people.
Yeah. Yep.
That's it. Because they don't want to pay Verizon the high prices to be an MVNO, so they want to eliminate them out.
No, I'm not talking about the commercial WISP. I'm talking about the private ones.
Oh, okay.
Look at this next article. Oh gosh, I love this. My eyes lit up when I saw this article. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest.
I knew it would. Yeah, Jason, band 48's power is 1 watt. The raw power is 1 watt, and then you got like a 13 dB gain antenna, which makes it like 30 or 40 watts ERP. Affected radiated power.
Yeah.
The multiplication. So you can't use massive MIMO on band 48 or N48. So it's going to be very limited on range and everything. And it's not going to have the beamforming stuff like N77 does. So it's really a waste of the band. It really is. So it's very low. It's low power. If they make 3.1 low power as well, that's just going to it's just going to fudge everything up. So I like 3 gigahertz for macro.
Here's what I'm kind of thinking. Like,
yes, that sounds like a complete mess of a fight for a band. Yes, it's people. They're getting territorial, man. They're fighting over frequencies. You know, it's crazy. It's like people fighting over property. It's like, it's my land. No, it's my land. I'm gonna blow you up since you took my land. You know, so
the 12 and 13 gigahertz will definitely be high power. There's no way in hell you can't make that thing low power.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, look at millimeter wave. You know, N260 and N261. It's only 1 watt power too.
Crap.
It's the same power as the N48 or band 48. It's the same power because it's on microwave. You can't blast out 1500 watts on that frequency because then you're going to have tinfoil hats going down the street because it's going to like light your shit up. It's going to cook you like a turkey in the oven. That's right.
Might as well have tinfoil hats.
Might as well. He said, I tweeted at the FCC about concerns of Assurance Wireless being stuck on LTE as T-Mobile is moving most of the spectrum to 5G, especially since Assurance does not sell 5G devices and has no BYOP. See, that's a huge problem right there. Big problem. Thanks for bringing that up. You're absolutely right about that. Hello there, visually impaired tech and more. It's hard to be nice to the FCC. Yeah. I say F the FCC. That's what I say. Rip all that gear. That's right, Jason. That's a shame. They're spending billions of dollars to pull this N77 equipment up, and it's just going to get ripped down in 2 years and replaced by 128. Yep. It's crazy. I mean, look how many years this LTE shit's been on the tower. What, 15 years? So... yeah, I mean, it's getting to a point the technology is just evolving so fast.
2010.
You know, and then once we get to 128 by 128 shit up there, then the next thing you know, we're going to be putting stuff on every vehicle, and your phone is going to be a node. It's going to be, your phone's going to just be a repeater. The phones are going to repeat what it hears. So you're going to send terahertz frequencies. You know, you'll have the existing stuff on the towers. The millimeter wave stuff will beam it to your car, and then your car will beam it to your phone on terahertz, and then every phone near you will be beaming it. So it's going to be basically a smart mesh network on 5G. So that's what basically 6G is. It's just a mesh network using towers, IAB, and nodes is what it's going to be. If only rural got this stuff to begin with. Yeah. They upgrade gear in the cities because of the high number of users, but they barely ever touch the rural. Yep, exactly. Yeah, it's called ROI, return on investment. If there's no money to be made, they're not going to invest it. And that's exactly what's going on. And that's why I think the FCC and the government should be putting a certain amount of money towards the carriers to build out these areas and give them the money to do it. And then let them, maintain it. Take the money and then pay taxes on it. And so that some of that will go back for future upgrades and all that other stuff. So that's what should happen. I think giving some bandwidth away for free would be a good idea. Split it up and give it all carriers a set amount of time to deploy it, or it goes back to the FCC. Well, the problem is if you give the frequencies away, then that money doesn't go back into the economy. So you really have to auction it. And the PAL license on band 48 did not bring near the amount of money that N77 or 3.4 did. Because, when you pay for that stuff, I mean, you're getting what it's like going to the store and say, okay, are you going to go buy some Spam in a can for dinner, or are you going to buy a filet mignon for dinner?
Filet mignon.
I'm talking food. I got Zero Cool all crazy now. He's like, he's slobbering now. Saliva is coming out of his mouth, and he's like, la, 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 la. That's right. Got him on the food kick there. That's right. My tower has at least 10-year-old gear on it. Yeah. I mean, hell, my tower here that I had had like 20-year-old gear on it. That shit's been up there forever. Band 13 and 66. I mean, it's been there forever. It's usable but unpleasant. That's it. That's it right there. You said it. Are you looking forward to 128 by 128? Yes, I am. Are you looking forward to 256 by 256? I don't think we're going to get there because 6G will be out in 10 years.
Yeah,
So,
like holographic beamforming at that point.
Basically the future, the next step, instead of going from the tower to the phone and the phone's trying to connect to the towers, it's going to move. It's going to move it to lower or higher frequencies, shorter range, and it's going to be the mesh network. So you won't need 256 by 256 because the whole thing is, why try to push a signal 2 to 3 miles away when you can push it 3 or 4 feet away or 15, 20 feet away?
How Bluetooth works.
Exactly. So, I mean, look at Wi-Fi. I mean, now you can buy, you can buy a Wi-Fi system like I got right here. I got this. I can hook up 10 Wi-Fi nodes on this using AI mesh. All it has to be is within the reach of this main router here. So I can put 10 nodes in a circle around me about 100 feet away. And then those nodes will all repeat out and it'll extend. It'll make a huge, it's like you could cover a whole warehouse because you got a whole circle, and then the phones will pick up each one is whichever has the best signal. So your phone will hear different ones, and it's like, okay, I hear you. Okay, I'll connect to you. Oh, now I hear you, and your phone will connect to 5 different of the nodes. So whichever node is strong, it acts just like a cell phone tower, basically. Yeah. So basically, that's what these little antennas are doing. You got multiple antennas beamforming down to the phone, and it's doing the same thing. It's just instead of having it on the tower, you're doing it Wi-Fi in your house. It's the same kind of system, and that's what's coming up in the future. That's what 6G is going to be. 6G is going to be mesh network. That's what it is. 6G is mesh network. I really don't like talking about 6G, but that's what it's going to be. It's going to be mesh network. You're going to have transmitters and you're going to have nodes, and then you're going to have point-to-point relays, IAB, integrated access backhaul. So it's going to shoot it across, and then it's going to broadcast to the cars, and every car is going to have a node in it, and the node is going to repeat it to your phone, and then your phone's going to repeat it to all the phones around you. So one phone picks it up, and then it's going to beam it to the 15 phones around you, and then the next 15 phones, and then the next 15 phones. So if you're in a football stadium, basically the whole football stadium will turn into a terahertz.
It's like
jungle.
It's like one big access point.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And then the Terminators will come after you.
Yes. Then the Terminators will come get you. Yes.
The skunk apes.
Yeah, it is fair. I understand they don't get a return on investment. These areas also don't have a high usage, but it still sucks. Yep, I agree. Yep. Well, one good thing about it is AT&T is, of course, building out the populated area to 99%. So they'll eventually get there. The last 30% of the population is the hardest to cover. So, of course, they're saying 5% of the pops because you got to remember they're all saying pops, but it's not really pops. It's really going from 70% to 100%. So it's really 30% of the rural area needs to be built out, and there's no fiber out there. There's nothing. So how the hell are you going to build a network where there's no fiber? If you don't have no fiber, you can't build a network. And a lot of these areas don't have any. So that's where IAB is going to come in, where you're just going to beam that shit with microwave. You just do 10 gigahertz. You just daisy chain 10 gigahertz, hop it like every 15, 20 miles. And then it just branches off. You got another one that beams off this way. It hits one node, and then it just beams them in all directions. And then there's 30 towers.
For that, for sure.
So then you'll have 30 towers that's running off of that data stream. Wireless fiber, baby. That's going to be the new thing coming out. Yep. Big time. Let's see. FirstNet is a huge help for coverage. Yes, it is. I mean, it's not quality. I mean, it's not fast, but hey, you can text and make phone calls, and that's what the whole purpose is getting that service out there so people can make phone calls and the first responders can use it. Will we see people wearing full body suits during 60 air? Well,
Yeah.
the thing is, 60 the thing is, any frequencies deployed will not go beyond 1.6 SAR, specific absorption rate, 1.6 watts per kilogram. No matter what frequency gets deployed, it cannot go beyond that.
Yeah, this is where the EME studies come into effect. That you
Yep.
off of
That's
radiation
why
so many
that's why
meters.
your cell phone gets tested by the FCC to make sure it doesn't pass those limits, so that when you hold this up to your ear, you don't fry your brain. Although I can think of many people in this world that needs to have their. I better stop right there. I'm going to get in trouble here. It's like, oh shit, Ricky's going to get in trouble. It's like flush it down the toilet.
Google's
There you
like,
go.
what's this guy talking about?
Yeah. This ain't ad suitable content. This guy's a crazy person. Time to build a metal house. Yeah, there you go. Then you won't get no signal in your house. Then you would say, I can't make a phone call. Yeah. Well, I mean, pretty soon you won't have to worry about it because your Wi-Fi hotspots are going to be all integrated with everything. So, I mean, they're going to be selling these little microcells. So basically, you can buy the microcell, plug it into your fiber at your house, and then now you got a mini picocell. You got a mini cell in your house.
Yeah.
It's got all the bands on it. N77. It's got it's the 3.4. It's got all those bands in it. So can you imagine getting 200 megahertz of bandwidth on your phone?
Well, they already
On
have
5G in your house?
They already have a CBRS one that you can actually plug into your internet, and you can actually have your own CBRS
Yeah.
node. And it's I forgot the company really quick, but you can actually buy the equipment. You can usually have it indoor or outdoor, and you actually hook it up. You hook it up to your internet. Your fiber.
I think you're talking about helium.
Helium, that's right. Yeah, yep.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, but that shit's expensive though. It's like $5,000 for that equipment.
It depends on what you get.
I mean, it's cheaper to buy a Wi-Fi router and use it and use Wi-Fi 6E.
Yeah, I
much
cannot wait
cheaper.
till Wi-Fi 7 comes out. Oh, it's gonna be so
Yeah,
good.
that's gonna be good. Can you imagine bonding those two bands together?
Oh my gosh, I can.
5 gigahertz and 6 gigahertz together.
Yeah,
Man,
that's gonna be
320 megahertz of spectrum.
Oh, it's
Isn't that
gonna be
crazy?
so- Oh, it's gonna be so.
Yeah, you can actually have 3 gig of fiber in your house, and it'll go 3 gigs right straight to your phone. It's crazy.
Good. Yep.
It's gonna be amazing. Oh, it says, what would happen if a tower was blasting 1,250 watts? Nothing, actually. A tower site at 200 foot in the air, or even let's say it's a monopole at 125 feet. Band 13 puts out 1,250 watts ERP right now. Band 66 puts out more like 1,800 watts ERP. Because the raw wattage is 30 watts on 700 megahertz.
For
And then
example,
on band 66, you can do actually 60 watts. So you can pump it up 60. That's why band 66 goes just as far as band 5 and band 12.
So when we
band 13.
aggregate band 13 and band 5, we can aggregate those two. Those
Yep.
that raw power, that ERP is 360 watts. That's what we put out.
Well, that's not very
low band
much.
Like that. I know 360 watts, right?
Yeah.
For irrigation for both of them. So
I
that gives you
think
kind of an
with-
idea of how much you can do.
Yeah. I think low band, there's two different ratings. There's an urban area that you have to reduce your power. And then when you got into rural areas, then you can crank it up to like 1,300, 1,600 watts.
We usually keep it about 80 watts actually. For
Mm-hmm.
those areas.
And then there's another factor in it too, is how high up the antenna is. The higher the antenna up, the lower you got to put your watts,
Well,
unfortunately, because it goes so much farther.
yeah, it's about.
And
80
you really
watts.
don't want to be beaming that shit at like the band 71. You don't want to beam that shit 1,500 watts ERP, because then you won't be able to reuse that frequency for 30 miles. And that's what T-Mobile gets in trouble. They beam that shit out there, and then you got PIM. You got all that interference.
You know, that
And
makes
then it's not usable. Then you do a speed test, you get a half a gig up and a half a gig down.
Did
And then you're
do-
skunked.
Did you do any speed tests on T-Mobile at all? When you had-
Yeah.
what were your impressions?
Oh, my impressions?
Yes. Oh, okay. that bad, huh?
Yeah. Oh, you want to see a speed test?
Yeah,
Here.
I sure do. Yeah.
Here, let me pull my speed test. Here, let me get you N77. Okay, let me go to results here.
Let's go for it. Yeah.
Hopefully it shows up on here. Okay, results. How do I get the results again? I forget to results. Okay, I gotta get it on that screen. And I gotta go down. Oh shit, I forget how to get to. Oh, here's results. I found it. All right, so let's find some UC here. All I gotta do is just look for the low numbers. Oh, here we go. Here's one. Oh no, that was actually AT&T. Oh, here's an AT&T. How's that?
I can't.
Yeah, good job.
Oh, that's not
Good job. Good job, AT&T. Very beautiful 5G Plus. Oh, here's another 5G Plus. Here, check this out. You want to see some 5G Plus? There you go. How you like your 5G Plus? Now you want to see some 50 megahertz of LTE with N5, 15 megahertz? You want to see that? Here, let me show you that. Here, I can show you that. Let's see, where we go. I think that's, yeah. Yeah, okay, now that's 50 megahertz of LTE and 15 megahertz of N5. Ain't that a shame that works better than N77?
Oh, yeah.
Because N77 knocks out N5. So if it's coming like 5-6 miles away, it knocks out N5 that's on the same tower as LTE a quarter of a mile away and knocks it out.
Yeah, there is another reason why that's
because it's called dual connectivity. It's DC. Dual connectivity should be shut the F off with AT&T because it's fudging everything up. I actually have N77 disabled on this phone. My S22 Ultra. N77 is disabled on AT&T. But I can't disable 5G because then I'm going to knock out the 15 megahertz of N5. When you put 15 megahertz of that with the 50 megahertz, that's 65 megahertz. That actually works pretty good. And that's what that speed test is.
Your Samsung band select works on there?
Yes, because there's a trick. Because remember, you know how the service mode is shut off on Verizon, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I put the hack in this phone. So I unlocked the service mode for Verizon. So I boot the phone up in Verizon, and then I turn on my eSIM for AT&T, and then I do *73#. I go in there, go to band selection, and bingo! I can select whatever band I want.
Can you send me those instructions like via email or something?
Yeah, I can do that.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, it works really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here's people don't believe it. *73. See here? *73. Now watch, I'm gonna hit pound. Watch this. There you go. You just hit band selection, and it says which one you want to fix. Do you want to do Verizon or you want to do AT&T? Well, let's do AT&T. So I go AT&T, and then there we go. We're in the menu.
What is it? *#? What is it again?
*#73#, and then you click on NR5G band preference.
Oh.
And this proves that they got NRDC turned on. That's 5G dual connectivity. That means you can connect to an LTE tower next to you, and then you can connect 5-7 miles away to an N77 tower. And looky here. What do you see here? Okay, now what? Let me go to the next page. All right, so what do you see right there? The asterisk means it's selected. That means it's turned on.
That's kind of cool. Okay.
So look at that. See, N77 is turned off.
That's kind of cool. How you
but I still got millimeter wave on. And I got N66 and N5. I got all those turned on. I just turned off N77. So while I'm at work, my phone doesn't go back and forth. It goes N77, N5, N77, N5, back and forth. And it just fudges everything up. Yeah. When it connects to N77, performance is horrible. When it connects to N5, it's okay. But when it switches back and forth, it's just nuts, man. But there you go. So, yeah. So anybody else that wants to know that trick there, all you have to have is a computer, and basically you connect your phone to your computer, you download this program, and then you also got to go in and turn your developer mode on too. You got to do that too.
What's the program? I think that's what I need actually.
Yeah, I forget what it's called. But you got to go in developer mode. See down here at the bottom, you got developer mode. You got to enable. You got to look up how you. I forget how you do it. You got to look up how to enable developer mode. And when you go in there, then you go in the menu like this. And then there's one thing you got to turn on down here. Let's see if I can remember which one it is. It's called. What the heck is it? It tells you what one you got to select. You got to click on it, and then I don't remember what it's called. Yeah, there's so many things. Developer mode has lots, and you got to be careful. Don't go playing with stuff in developer mode because you can brick your phone. You can make it where it'll never connect to a band ever again. Then you have to do a factory reset. So you only click on what this program tells you to turn on that feature. So you got to be very careful with this. I don't remember which one it is, but one of these things you click on, and then it turns it on, and then you can do it.
I'm trying to do that right now, actually.
I don't even remember which one it is on here, but one of these things you click on. And also, too, in order, I don't know if I should be saying this or not, but there's a program called Fake GPS. And in order for you to spoof your GPS position, you have to enable that in the developer mode. And then when you do that, then you can go on Fake GPS and you just pick a spot you want to be at, you enable it, and that's where you're at. Yeah, I probably should have said that, but I don't care. All right, let's see here. Man, it's getting hot in here. See, when it gets cooler outside, the air conditioner won't kick on as much because. All right, let's see. What's the wattage limit for towers to avoid cooking everyone ever? See, the whole thing about people and antennas. There's a certain distance, okay? So like for your cell phone, the distance of your phone, guess what the distance is? Okay, I can put this phone right here on my cheek like this, and it won't even harm me because it's like a quarter of a watt, half a watt. It doesn't even do a half a watt. It's a quarter of a watt is pretty much high power on a cell phone. So this is not going to fry you. Definitely going to fry you. And then like Bluetooth headset is like, I mean, it's less than a milliwatt, so it's less than a tenth of a watt, so it's really low power. Now, your Wi-Fi hotspot, on the other hand, you got to be at least 2 feet away from it. So, if your Wi-Fi hotspot, your Wi-Fi router, like I have, my Asus AXE 11000, is over here in a corner, and it's got to be 2 feet away. If you're within 2 feet of those antennas on it, or like your modem that has Wi-Fi built into it, and it's on your desktop, it's right next to your hand, you're actually radiating your hand. It needs to be 18 to 20 inches away from you at all times. The small cell on the street, on a 30-foot pole, you have to be more than 3 feet from the front of the antenna. Because remember, the beam coming out of the antenna goes straight out. It doesn't go down to the ground. There's just a very limited amount of RF that goes straight down.
6 feet.
What's that?
6 feet.
6 feet. What did I say? 8 feet?
You said 3 feet, 6 feet.
Oh, 3. Yeah, 8 feet. Well, I mean, it depends on what the power is, too.
Yeah.
But in just general, I think they just make it just a blanket amount, but you're supposed to be away from it. So, and that's why when you're working on a site, you're up there doing an upgrade. If you're behind the antenna, it's not radiating you because you're behind it. And they got these little meters they got to put on. And if you get into the beam, it'll beep at you and say you're in the beam, and it's like get your ass out of the beam because you only got seconds you can be in front of that beam. Because the more you're exposed, the more it cooks you, like your oven. Just remember, your microwave oven, your microwave is on 2.4 gigahertz, which is basically the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi band. It's running 1,000 watts. So if you have a 1,000 watt microwave, it's putting out 1,000 watts. Whereas Bluetooth puts out a tenth of a watt. So just think about that. A tenth of a watt versus 1,000 watts. Now your microwave is in a steel cage. There's a steel cage in there, and that's why it won't work with the door open. If you disable that door feature, that where it can run, where you can open up the door and you can actually turn it on, then all that RF energy is going to come out and hit you in the face, and it'll cook your face just like it cooks your food in the microwave. Because microwaves at high power causes heat. Heat cooks food, and that's how RF energy works. And that's why your microwave won't run with the door open, because it has to be closed and enable that transmitter.
It's got a waveguide in there.
Yep, there's a waveguide pointing right straight to that shit in there, and all those microwaves bounce around that metal cage, and it cooks your food up there. So that's why the thing spins around, because the way microwaves they hit a certain point. So there's places where it bounces around, and then there's little shadows. A shadow where the beam doesn't hit anything, and that's what gets you a cold spot on you. That's why when you warm up something, one part of your food is cold, the other is like burnt, because it's very uneven. And that's why they got the turntable. So it's constantly moving in and out of the beams, so it cooks your food more evenly. Yeah, I didn't think we were going to have a microwave experiment here on the live stream tonight, did we? Yeah, we didn't think that was going to happen. You just never know what Ricky's going to talk about on his live stream. There's only 11 of you left. Most of you got bored and left, so I ain't listening to this nutcase anymore. But anyways, let's get back to the topic here. So there's the 13 gigahertz band. Okay, so let's break this down here. So, notice to inquiry, NOI. The FCC noted that while there's a number of incumbent uses in the band, overall, the band appears to be lightly used. Currently, the 12.7 gigahertz band is shared among fixed microwave services, broadcast auxiliary services, cable television relay services, and fixed satellite services. So that's what's in that band. So in order to protect it, that's why they're talking about using the AFC. Automated frequency coordination. So if the transmitter hears another signal, it won't transmit. It shuts down. It says, oh, I can't transmit. Oh, the signal just stopped transmitting. Now I can transmit. But then guess what? If it hears something transmit, then it has to shut down again. So that's the only bad thing about it. If you're transmitting on the frequency, you can't hear what's going on in the frequency, because your transmission is overriding the other frequency off in the distance. And that's why you have to have the AFC, because that is networked in. Basically, that transmitter has a little computer in it, and it's connected to the internet. So the AFC is linked to other things. And so when the other device transmits, it's actually saying, hey, I'm transmitting in this area. And then so it relays that to this network and says, hey, at this latitude and longitude, there's a radar transmitting, or this person's transmitting. And then whatever site you have on 12 gigahertz is transmitting 5G will get that message on the internet and say, hey, you're in the circle of this lat and long that's transmitting on a priority user. Shut down now. So then the transmitter goes, boop, shuts down. And then when the coast is clear, it doesn't hear anyone transmit, it'll transmit again. And the SAS, the spectrum access sharing on band 48, works the same way. It's all connected together. Pretty crazy stuff. Let's see what else we got here. Oh yeah, don't forget that Starlink is fighting over 12 gigahertz too, and Dish is fighting over. So you got a big old war. You got Dish fighting for it. You got Dish, Starlink, and then all the other people. Everybody's fighting over this band. Everybody wants it. So we don't know what's going to happen for this, but this is 500 megahertz of spectrum that's really, really good. Dish actually owns parts of this frequency that they actually own, that they can.
Sure.
Yeah, so they can put this up. But then also Starlink owns some frequencies, and the trouble is you got both of them mixed in together. You got the same situation like you had with Nextel and the police and fire departments and public safety, because you had 800 megahertz, band 25 or band 26. They got turned into Nextel. Well, Nextel was on, they would have their frequencies mixed in amongst them, and it was causing interference. So what they had to do is they had to move all the Nextel to the top frequencies and move all the public safety down to the bottom part of the band, and then put a little guard band in the middle. And then all the towers, they could put filters on them, and they could block out Nextel so the receive don't kill them. And that's what they did. They separated the band, 2 different users using the same band. That's what they did. So that's what they'll have to do on this. Separate everything up. Opening the lower 12 gigahertz in addition to the upper 12 would potentially make over 1,000 megahertz of spectrum available for advanced services. That's pretty crazy. It's amazing. All right, I think there's one more article on 13 gig. Yeah, here's the 13 gigahertz band. So now they're talking about this too. Here, let's go 5G for 12 gigahertz coalition. Yeah. The organization is primarily interested in maximizing the lower 12 gigahertz band for two-way terrestrial and 5G mobile and fixed services, but it also supports the agency's efforts to expand opportunities for additional operations in the 13 gigahertz band. So it's possible that they may shift the Starlink operations to the upper part to like 13 gigs and keep the terrestrial stuff on the 12. And that's what they really need to do. They need to separate it, let them use the full power, and separate it. And that's what they need. That's what we need to do. We don't need to take the whole 1,000 megahertz and say first come, first serve, and everybody share it, and then put it in low power, and it's just gonna make a mess. I don't like shared frequency stuff. I mean, 6 and 7 gigahertz, I think it's okay because that's Wi-Fi. I think it's okay to have that, band 46 and 96 and all them. It's okay to do that, but I think the 3.5 gigahertz, making that a shared band was a huge mistake. Look at these other countries. They got the whole band. They got from 3 gigahertz all the way to 4.5 gigahertz. They're using the whole thing. It's like over 1,000 megahertz of spectrum. And some of these carriers are deploying 1,000 megahertz of spectrum. Well, not 1,000, but like half of it, like 500. So on their N78 that they're doing over there, they got 500, 600, 700 megahertz of spectrum, and they're getting like 2 to 3 gigs down and like a half a gig up. It's crazy. And yet here we are in America spinning our damn wheels, fighting over the spectrum like a bunch of pack of wild dogs in the woods. Oh. Uh-oh. All right, what else we got here? Let's see. Yeah, see, the CTIA, which is the Wireless Carrier Association, says make it licensed. Yeah, license that stuff out. See here? 5G expansion, lower 3 gigahertz band, the mid 4 gigahertz band, and the 7 to 8 gigahertz band. Auction all that crap off. What do you think, Caleb? You think we should auction off 3 gigahertz, 3.1, 4.4, 7 gigahertz, 8 gigahertz? Think we should auction all that off? Uh-oh, I think we lost him. Oh, he said be right back. Be right back. Okay. We'll wait for him to come back. We'll leave the light on for you. Yeah, you guys ain't very talky tonight. I've got 10 people left. Oh, yeah, we've been live for like 2 hours and 48 minutes. Dang. Yeah, we're going to end this thing here in about 10 minutes. So, all right, let's see what else we got here. And then others say make it shared use. So you got an argument. You got to say make it licensed. These guys will say make it shared. And then you go down here and you say, and then they can't decide on which way they want to do it. Do you want to do SAS like the band 48, or you want to do AFC like unlicensed C band? That's right. It is 6 gigahertz and 7 gigahertz is C band. That's right. I said unlicensed C band. I'm not talking about S band N48 or band 48. So it says here, hold on a minute. While the 13 gigahertz band is considered mostly encumbered, that means used, for fewer federal users compared to other bands, the National Telecommunications Information Administration, which oversees federal spectrum matters, said there's a variety of federal uses in the 12.7 to 13.25 gigahertz and adjacent bands, as well as commercial uses that are important to federal missions. See, that's the trouble. We got all this stuff, and it's scattered about a band, so it's not very efficient. So that's what the hard part is. So in order to make it a macro band and a high power band, exclusive auction band, they have to move the people out of there. So whatever stuff is there, they got to pay money to relocate them, kind of just like they did to 3.7. They moved all the 3.7 to 4.0 gigahertz. They moved all that stuff off. Moved them all up into 4 gigahertz band. They condensed it. It's like defragging your hard drive. You know how your hard drive's fragmented? You got a piece over here, you got a piece over here, you got a piece over here, you got a piece over here. And what you do is you defrag it. Basically, you move all the same files all in the same place, so that you got this file, you got this file, you got this file, and you got each file that are all next to each other. So when the hard drive is spinning, it can actually find them files faster. And it's the same thing with 5G. What happens when you have 100 megahertz of continuous spectrum? That's one carrier. That means you can use that more effectively versus taking 4 chunks of 20 megahertz, taking 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 20. Now you got 4 carrier aggregation. Now you just wasted carrier aggregation that you can't use anything else for. So what's better, to have 4 20s or 100? Because if you got 100, then guess what you can do? You can do another 100. That's 200s. That's 200 free. 200 versus 4 20s. So it's a lot more efficient. So, and that's what they're talking about here. All right, let's see. I got a couple more articles up here. Let's see what's this one. Yeah, this is the same one. They're fighting over everything. Yeah, so the Carrier Telephone Association, so the Association for the Carriers stirs up the thing over band 48. Yeah, so it's basically saying the same thing. It's just a different article. It says everybody's fighting over 3.1. I think it's crazy. I think the DoD needs to move their stuff down to the lower part of the band, reprogram everything, and then make it 3.1 to 3.4. That's a couple hundred megahertz of spectrum. Can you imagine doing another 200 megahertz auction and then give that to the carriers? Can you imagine if Verizon got another 60 megahertz in that band and AT&T got another 60, T-Mobile got 60 in there, and Dish got 60? That's 240. 4 sixes is 24. That's 240 megahertz of spectrum. So all 4 carriers can get a 60 megahertz chunk, carrier aggregate that in using 64 by 64 multiple user massive MIMO at high power, and beam that shit and continue on with the deployment of real 5G. And once we get a big bandwidth, then you can start going standalone, because if you got all them carriers together in standalone mode and you got the uplink booster, it's going to work great in indoors. It's going to be amazing.
Back with you here.
All righty then. Yeah, it's almost 3 hours, so it's almost time to end this stream. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, we got
the word.
All right, we already talked about Dish. Let's see. The Carriers Association wants more mid-band spectrum available for 5G. Yeah, so this is another article here. They're screaming, yeah, we want 3.1. Here's a nice little example here. Okay, 350 megahertz, 3.1 to 4.5. Well, I mean, most of that's already auctioned off. So 400 megahertz into 4.4 to 4.94. That's available too. If they move stuff around, that's C-band, 4.4 to 4.9. That's where they just moved everybody off of 3.7 on S-band. They moved them up here. So there's still another 400 megahertz that they can actually make use up here if they move them again. Or they make it into another, CBRS band. If they do that, then they can do it. But see, it's just, when you start scattering the band around like that, it's just not very efficient. And then you got 400 megahertz up into 7.1 to 8.4 gigahertz. That's actually empty, but you got a bunch of other users scattered about. So either you move them up, move them down, and you make an isolated chunk for 5G. So there's lots of bandwidth. Of course, 3.1 to 3.2 is the only thing left in that band, but the other two bands, you can still do something with those bands. So I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but there's a very good chance that we won't get no more macro high power bands anymore. It's possible that all the rest of this shit, 12 gigahertz is likely it's going to be a macro band probably, but like I said, it's not going to be that much of a high power because you're high in frequency, so you won't be able to do huge power. And then we got here CBRS. I don't understand why they use these. What the hell's a Riles? CBRS Riles, folks. Folks, when we talk about red, are we talking about redneck folks?
Like they're rowdy. That's what they mean.
And then we said on various sides of the spectrum debate.
Meaning it's a hot topic.
Yeah. This choice of words they use, it's like they're almost speaking Greek or something, or like another language. It's crazy.
CBRS.
Yeah.
I don't even know what word to use. It's just so bad.
Yeah. And this is the history of the. Yeah, we already read all this. Yeah, a lot of these articles are repeated. See, some of these, they like to just repeat the same article and just twist it in a different way. It's like this one here: Comcast Charter steer push for CBRS framework and lower 3 gigahertz. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just we just talked about it, but sometimes they forget. Yeah, that's the exact same article we already did. Yeah. Time to here's one from Roger Ettner. He did a really good article on here. Time to reassess spectrum strategy, starting with CBRS. Yeah, Roger did a really good story on this. And Roger, as you guys know, has been on SMT's channel. So he's a famous dude. He's been on there. So yeah, he does a lot of good stuff for all these articles and stuff. So, yeah, here's a whole bunch of questions. Why did the FCC decide to allow spectrum sharing experiment to take place on 150 megahertz of spectrum the agency had allocated for licensed commercial 5G use? Shame on you, FCC. Shame on you. That's right. Poop on you. Why are priority access license called license? They are not licensed at all. They are merely an indication of the order of which commercial carriers can access the spectrum, subject to being interfered with by DoD. Roger is exactly right. It's crazy. And that's why the CBRS auction did not bring as much money, because they're not getting full value. They're getting ripped off. It's like you ordered a pizza with everything on it. They took it out of the oven. It just has sauce on it. There's no cheese and there's no toppings on it. Oh, but if you're a good boy, we'll throw the toppings on for you, as long as nobody else is around and going to eat it. It's like, what? Are you kidding me? And what do we know about the use cases and limits on utilization due to carriers having to accept being interfered with on these frequencies? Does the U.S. Navy know that 3.5 to 3.6 gigahertz is licensed around the world for 5G, while CBRS PAL users will not broadcast if the U.S. Navy uses their radar in U.S. waters? Other countries' wireless networks are not going to do the same. When at sea, most of the U.S. Navy is not patrolling U.S. waters. Even if every U.S. transmitter is interferer of radar, wouldn't that be true for foreign transmitters that do not have power restrictions? He has some really good points here. Why did none of the companies that were involved in the 2012 PCAST report actually invest in license? Why were there none of the likely companies that bid on CBRS spectrum included in the report? How much and where is the CBRS spectrum currently utilized? How do we define utilization in this regard? Could the CBRS experiment have occurred elsewhere in the bands? Absolutely. Yeah, they could have did that other places. What revenues could have been raised to close the digital divide if the spectrum occupied by CBRS experiment was auctioned instead? You see where Roger's going with all these questions? I mean, there's multiple points there that are valid. And then, is the SAS, which is the Spectrum Access System Administration Model, the right governance model for sharing in other bands? Is it good for 10 gigahertz band? I don't know. I don't think so. Why did CommScope decide to exit the CBRS business? That's because nobody would buy their stuff because nobody wanted it. Because it's not very effective. And guess what? With band 48, your range is only a mile. So you have to densify so much. You have to put it on macro, and then you have to put a small cell between every damn macro site to use it properly, to densify it. So there you go. Who is in charge? When we look at C-band disaster, well, N77, between the FAA, the Federal Assholes Administration, and the Federal Sea Suckers Commission. I don't want to say that word. I got to be a good boy. Wonders which agency will actually control the spectrum policy and allocation decisions. The DOD, the DOT, the DOC? Roger's exactly right here. Yeah, a big shout out to Roger. Words well spoken. And I wonder if anybody has answered these questions. Probably not, knowing these dumbasses. And then it says here, knowing the answers to these questions is critical to the U.S. ability to establish a long-term spectrum strategy that incorporates a pipeline of access to exclusive use spectrum license, along enabling experimentation to figure out effective ways to share spectrum with the incumbent users. So there you go. What do you think, Zirkle? You think Roger's right?
I do.
Should we do a poll question?
You know, this whole thing just reminds me of like one big boxing match. You know,
yeah.
you get about 12 people in the ring. You know. So.
Yeah, exactly. See who gets a shape in there.
Whoever gets a shot at it, you know, is
who in the world is this that just popped in here?
Deal, so.
Somebody's copying me. Who is this? It says nice fake 5G. What?
Fake 5G.
And it says they're skunk apes. That's got to be Carlos. That's got to be Carlos. Or it's Carlos, or it's Greg. It might be Greg. That's something that he would do. Yeah, but anyways, here's this poll question. Let's close this poll question out, and we'll do one more.
Going, man, for work here. So thanks for.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know. You got your conference call there, so. And, all right. Well, thanks for coming on. Yeah, we're going to end this live stream. It's 3 hours anyways, so.
All right, no problem.
We're all done here. So we're close this poll out. So 66% said yes, 33% said no. Do you think Dish will reach its 70% goal of coverage required by FCC? Wow. Only 66% of you think of that. So that's crazy. All right. So at least we got that done. All right. So that's about all for this big old mess we got going on here. Federated Wireless Charter Pitch Power. Yeah. And then also too, you know, people are fighting over the power. They want more power, but it's just going to cause more problems. I mean, what was the other article I had here? Sorry. Oh, well, this website here says that they think Band 48 is an innovation band and is already a historic success. So these people are claiming it's already, they're probably the ISP backers. So what they're saying is got 40 plus equipment vendors, 187 commercial base station device models, nearly 500 authorized client devices, more than 4,000 certified professional installers, 9 authorized Spectrum Access System administrators to keep everything running good. And then it says here, a record number of users have already adopted Band 48. They had 228 bidders that won license. So, and there's already 900 different operators using the unlicensed portion. So these people are saying everything is good. Yeah, everything is good. I don't know. I don't think it's good. Who's the skunk apes in here? Who is that? Copying me. Silly rabbit. Who is that? Oh, let me look in a private chat. Yeah. Skunky doodle doo. Uh-huh. Skunky doodle doo. Let's see who it is. See what kind of comments you guys got here. Let's see. But it's you and fake 5G. Let everyone know. Okay. Yes. Who is that?
Hello.
Oh gosh.
I just wanted
that
to tell everybody a few words.
Is that Mr. Fake 5G?
5G.
I'm
is
the only.
fake.
I'm the only 5G faker hater.
Why can't that
Yeah.
be two?
Yeah, me too.
Why
Spread the
can't that be
word.
one?
Give people what they want. See, I can do that too.
What they want.
Give them what they want. See, let's see.
Fiber on the way.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I think I can make that sound there too. Oh, I am.
There, let's see how this one sounds. This is Bob. Hi, my name is Bob.
You can never
I hate 5G. This is Bob. I hate 5G. 5G's fake. See, I can do that too.
I'm disappointed in you, Paul.
Why?
Your voice is disappointing.
Oh no. What are we gonna do? Tell T-Mobile to stop faking it till they make it.
I agree.
Stop faking it till you make it. And that almost sounds like Bob. Does that sound like Bob? Hi, my name is Bob. That's crazy.
Oh, wait a minute. No, it's not Bob. Here, let's do this.
Hi, my name is Neville the Pebble. My name is Neville the Pebble. I made the poopiest network in the USA. That's pretty funny. Pretty funny. Pretty funny.
Or to be a space trooper. I am from outer space, where T-Mobile beams send 71 to the moon.
Oh, that's too funny. All right, so it's been 3 hours here. We're all skunked up here.
That's a long time, Ricky.
All right, let's see here. I forgot where we're at here on our... T-Mobile managed to get all 240 gigahertz. Gigahertz? You mean megahertz. I think we would watch Ricky explode. Yeah, for sure. I think we'd all explode, yeah. I know this ain't really related to this, but why does the FAA and airlines complain about N77 when other countries use higher frequencies than we use that is closer to the aircraft? Exactly! Exactly right! What is wrong with the federal asshole administration? What is wrong with them people? Are they that stupid? Crazy. Yeah, there hasn't been a single interference problem. There ain't been a plane crash from 5G anywheres in the world. MS says, thanks so much, Caleb, and Merry Christmas. Yes. Yep, we're going to do a Christmas special next week. The Christmas edition. We're going to have a $50 giveaway. Yeah, it's almost time for CES, too. Yeah, January 3rd. Get on the plane and go to CES. Oh, poop. Poopy doopy. Okay. So let's do our hashtags now. There's only 10 of you left. Let's do some hashtags. So let's see. Oops. That's the wrong. Dump the skunk. Dump the skunk. Here we go. What's the next one? What the hell are you doing? You can't do that on here. Can't do that on here. What are you trying to do? Get this stream demonetized. Of course, I probably already got it demonetized. There you go. Yeah, I thought a few bad words, but usually bad words don't really hurt you. So do your 2 Live Crew. Yeah. What else do we got here? Let's see. We need real 5G. How about that one? Yeah, or how about this one? FCC, do your job. Yeah. And then we got one for the FAA. FAA, stick to your planes. Leave 5G be. That's a good one there. Yeah, that's a good one there. All right, Skunky, are you done?
Yes.
Okay, as long as you're done. All right, so make sure you put your hashtags in there. Oh, you can't put spaces in. FAA should F off. Yeah. I like that one. FAA, stick to your planes. Leave 5G be. I like that one. That's pretty good. All right, well, thank you guys for all showing up tonight. All 10, 15, 20, or however many people come in. Woo! But yeah, I need to kick my air conditioner up. It's a little hot in here now. Gotta do that. I gotta make me some more coffee. Yeah, I'm out of coffee. Oh, I got a little bit of coffee here. It's cold though. Ooh, I don't like cold coffee. I don't like coffee hot. Oh, you're too distorted now. Mm-hmm. Are you ready for CES?
Oh, baby, if I can go.
You don't get to go.
We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, it says F-A. You spelled it wrong. It's FAA, not FFA. FFA is Future Farmers of America. Iced coffee can be good. Are you crazy? No. Yuck. Iced coffee? That's nasty. Nasty. MS says, great time, Ricky. Glad to hear stream next week. Yeah, we'll do a stream next Wednesday night. We'll do the Christmas edition. So we'll have us a little Christmas party. So we'll just probably talk about the past year and make some future predictions, because probably, let's see, what's the next week? Then next week is, okay, so 21st will be a stream, and then the 28th, well, that's actually after Christmas, because Christmas Eve is on Saturday evening, and then Sunday is actually Christmas Day. So actually we could do a live stream on the 28th as well. Now, as you know, in January 4th, Probably won't be no live stream because we'll be doing live streams on the 5th, 6th, and 7th of January because we're going to be doing live streams from CES. So leave your stuff in the comments what you want to see at CES. So if there's a specific thing you want to see, like TVs, or you want to see HTC horrible telephone connection phones, or you want to see the other Chinese crap phones, or if you want to see Samsung phones, or the display for iPhone, even though you can't get an iPhone because the factory shut down. So yeah, just tell us what you want to see at CES, and we're going to do several live streams. So we're going to do several of them that week. So there won't be no live stream here at the headquarters because we'll be over in Vegas. So that's going to be fun. And then also that following week, same thing, because I'm not flying back until the 12th. I think the 12th I fly back. So the 9th, 10th, and 11th, and 12th, CES is over, but I'm going to stay in Vegas for a few days because we're going to go to the Grand Canyon. We're going to go to Arizona. We're going to do some stuff. So I don't know. Maybe we'll do a joint live stream at Carlos's headquarters. Maybe we'll do a live stream from there or something like that. So I don't know. We'll have to see what we do. I don't know. Or maybe we'll just do a live stream going to Arizona to the Grand Canyon or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But then I fly back the 12th and go back to work. So can't remember. Or fly back to 11th. Oh, no, I fly back to 11th. Yeah. So I fly back to 11th because I got to be back to work at the 12th. Yeah. 6 p.m. So, yeah, Thursday night I'll be back to work. So everything will be back to normal. So that's what the future holds for that anyways. So let's see. Will you have a cell booster stream? Oh, you guys still want a cell booster? You want to do that next week? Yeah, let's do that next week. Let's do a cell phone booster stream next week. And while we're at it, we're going to cover the Pico cells too, which is the 5G micro cell equipment that you can get from the carriers and put in your house. You plug it into your Wi-Fi, and then your phone will connect directly to 5G right there on your, or LTE, whichever device you have. Yeah, we'll do boosters and those 4G, 5G microcells. Yeah, we'll do that next week. That'd be a good live stream. And then I'm not a big coffee fan. Oh, I'm sorry. I agree with that. Cell phone is okay. You guys got it. That's what we're doing next week. I'm waiting on Starbucks to bring back the eggnog latte. That sounds actually pretty good. I like eggnog actually, but the bad thing is it's got a lot of sugar in it, and I'm not supposed to have sugar. So since I'm a diabetic, I can't have sugar. Will you be doing a cell booster stream during CES? No, we'll be doing live streams from CES. So you want me to go to the cell phone booster company booth and do a live stream from there? That's what you're saying? We can do that too. I want to see Twitter, Elon Musk crash and burn at the hands of Elon. Oh, jeez. You're so mean. Yeah, Elon's not a very nice person, is he? Not at all. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you next week. We'll do a cell phone booster live stream next week. We'll talk about all that stuff to help you get better signal with T-Mobile. Why do I pick on T-Mobile? Why? Because they make me. If they would just do it right, then I wouldn't pick on them. And the skunk apes wouldn't eat their shit off the tower because they put cheap stuff up there that the skunk apes can chew through. Verizon puts stuff on the tower and it breaks their teeth off. They can't eat it. I'm bringing a cellular bonding device to live stream at CES. Oh, great. Yeah, well, hopefully with Los Mobile on Verizon, I'll be good. And I'll have AT&T there as well. So hopefully either one of them will be pretty good. So, and I know Carlos is going to have a hotspot in his backpack turned on. So worst case scenario, we can always connect to that sucker because he'll have that thing set up on millimeter wave and then broadcast that to Wi-Fi. That'll be really fast there. So with my really nice video camera. Okay. Oh, yes. I forgot you have really good. Yeah, you got the professional equipment. That's right. Plan to stream in good HQ. That's the reason for the bonding. I have loose lines too. That's right. Awesome, awesome. All right, you guys. Oh, thanks for DC. Having a good night. Had to play my outro. Oh, okay, your outro. Okay, gotcha. All right. Okie dokie, guys. See you next week around 8 or 9 o'clock, something like that. So we'll do another live stream. Until then, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sharing. Get bored. Watch some past live streams. There's some good content on there to watch. So have a great time. Let me get this back up here. And that doesn't even sound like music. That just sounds like, it just sounds like yickety yak. Yickety yak stuff. Oh boy. Oops.